Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Voyage, Captain Venom, Parasitic Nami at the beginning. Chapter 41. The waters near Alabasta. A marine warship is sailing on the blue sea. On the deck, a tall and thin man was lying on a rocking chair. He had an eye patch on his eyes and his expression was very comfortable. At this time, a voice sounded in his ear. Report. Aokiji Admiral, there is news from the Alabasta country that the 7 warlords of the sea crocodile have been confirmed dead, and the perpetrators are the Venom pirates. Following intelligence reports, Aokiji immediately opened his blindfold. He looked a little incredulous, with a frown on his face. Was the Shichibukai wiped out so easily? It's unbelievable. Aokiji is a marine admiral, and of course his power can kill a Shichibukai. However, it won't be easy. Not to mention crocodile is Logia demon fruit power. Under such circumstances, he was actually killed by a newcomer from East Blue. Is Shichibukai too weak, or is the guy called Venom too strong? However, this is too lawless. Shichibukai is a partner of Marine. Not even Marine would bother them. Crocodile was killed by the pirates, which was like a slap in Marine's face. Let's take a look at what is said above. I guess he'll be furious. Soon, Aokiji's phone bug connected to the top office of Naval Headquarters. Sengoku, as expected, acted very angry after Aokiji reported the information. A Shichibukai said it's gone. What? Sand Crocodile was killed by the Venom pirates. Where is the Venom pirates now? Sengoku asked with a somewhat angry voice. According to intelligence, the Venom pirates are still in Alabasta, and he was summoned by the Alabasta royal family. What? Hearing this, Sengoku was furious. What's going on? They are pirates, how can they be summoned by the royal family of the kingdom? Sengoku didn't know about Crocodile's evil deeds in Alabasta. All he knew was that Crocodile had joined the 7 warlords of the sea. They are in the same camp as Marine. Now he is dead inexplicably. If this kind of news were spread, what would the whole sea think? How to maintain Marine's authority? Aokiji's somewhat lazy voice came over. We have collected the information here. Crocodile used dancing powder in Alabasta, causing the entire kingdom to fall into a drought. Countless people died in Alabasta due to the drought. Among them, Alabasta's Princess Vivi asked the Venom pirates to take action, and then she killed Crocodile and was summoned by the royal family. Aokiji explained the whole story clearly. Is that true? Sengoku was silent after hearing Aokiji's report. He never expected that the intelligence on his side was so backward. Crocodile is so arrogant and dares to attack the kingdom. Hateful though, but what really cannot be tolerated is, he actually let the pirate play the role of savior. No matter how you look at it, it feels ridiculous. I want you to go to Alabasta now and send all the Venom pirates into Impel Down. Leave the rest to me. Zongguo hesitated. But the meaning behind the words has been made very clear. They, Marine, want to snatch the fruits of victory in saving Alabasta. As long as Marine Admiral takes action, the Venom pirates can be sent into Impel Down. All the credit will smoothly fall into the pockets of Naval Headquarters. As for Crocodile, although it is a headache for Sengoku, a Shichibukai title is not irreplaceable. There are many strong men on the sea. It's not difficult to recruit another Shichibukai. Aokiji had a cold face, but still chose to obey the order. Although it made him feel shameful to take away the credit from the pirates. But the other party is a pirate. If it is allowed to be arrogant, Marine's prestige will be reduced, and Aokiji does not want to see this happen. At the same time, according to the information Aokiji had previously learned, Nico Robin, the son of the devil, seems to hold an important position in Crocodile's Baroque working society. Take advantage of this opportunity. Aokiji also wants to see Nico Robin. Is there any need to continue to stay alive? On the other side of Sengoku, seeing Aokiji hesitating, he decisively ordered again, I will never allow the news of pirates' contact with the royal family to be spread. Aokiji, you act immediately. Then let me go. Following Sengoku's order, Marine took action immediately after receiving the order. The warship immediately became busy and headed for Alabasta. A commercial district in Alabasta port. A stylish girl wearing a blue and white circlet dress appeared here. Vivi tied her blue hair into a single ponytail and tied it back, giving her a smart look. She came to tell Venom and others that the royal family was going to entertain them. At the same time, Vivi also received a pass from the king and can take Venom and the others to see the ship. Boss Venom, my father has agreed. Now I will take you to see the Nefertari. After waiting, let's go to the royal family. Soon, under the leadership of Vivi, several people passed through the tight protection. Entered a closed port. Nami's eyes straightened when she saw the pirate ship appearing in front of her. Luxurious, pretty, haughty. That's the adjective for the Nefertari. What a luxurious sailing ship. Every piece of wood is of the highest quality. Nami passed his hand across the fence and wandered leisurely on the Nefertari. After a few days of getting along, Vivi, Venom, Nami and others have become good friends. Although now Vivi is still a little afraid of Venom. But after really understanding it, I found that although Venom looks very scary, but people are still very gentle. So, in front of everyone, Vivi smiled and explained. The Nefertari was built according to the highest royal standards. It has living areas, a large swimming pool, kitchen and bedrooms, and is also equipped with artillery. More importantly, it also has the black market technology of the Water City. Part of its hull is made of sea stone. I heard it can safely cross the calm belt. Vivi explained happily. Seeing that the benefactors of the Venom pirates were all satisfied, she was even happier. This ship is so perfect. Boss, Karina was also like a curious baby, I like it so much. Can I choose a room? Keep praising him. Venom glanced around and nodded. This ship is enough for our voyage. It's also equipped with a special kitchen, and I've stored a lot of supplies. With that said, Vivi led everyone to the kitchen. Show the kitchen utensils and such inside. And just when I was opening the refrigerator and preparing to take out Alabasta's special fruits, a strange fruit like a cactus attracted Vivi's attention. Is this a new variety of fruit? Why haven't I seen it before? With that said, Vivi took out some fruits and put them on the table. Several different fruits put together. It is obvious that there is an outlier among them. This fruit is overall a light earthy yellow color, like sand, and its shape is like a small round cactus. The fruit theme also stretches out, two hands, like a little cactus begging for a hug. Seeing the appearance of this fruit, Venom immediately wanted to laugh. I didn't expect that I would be so lucky this time. After Crocodile's death, the Logia sand fruit was reborn and actually attached to the fruits in the Nefertari's refrigerator. That's right, it's Logia devil fruit sand fruit. Boss, why do I feel that this fruit is similar to the Mara fruit? Is this also a devil fruit? Nami picked up the sand fruit and looked at it carefully. As he spoke, he waved it in front of the others. Those present, like Vivi and Karina, had never seen devil fruit before. Therefore, even if you see it, you will think of it as a strange-looking fruit. Wow, devil fruit. Karina immediately became energetic. She turned to look at Venom with a hint of greed in her eyes. At the same time, Robin's voice rang out, I also have demon fruit power. At first, I just regarded flower fruit as an ordinary fruit, but after I ate it, I immediately gained the ability. As he spoke, another arm suddenly stretched out from the arm of devil fruit that Nami was holding, and lifted devil fruit in front of Luo Bing. After looking at it carefully, Robin nodded seriously and said, looking at the spiral pattern on the skin of this fruit, I can definitely tell it is a devil fruit. It's just that I don't know what type it is. Robin, is this true? That's great. Karina jumped up with excitement after hearing Robin's explanation. In an instant, she turned around and held Venom in her arms. Boss, a faint voice came from Karina's mouth. He also showed a charming expression from time to time. The current Venom pirates are headed by Venom. At the same time, Venom is also the backbone of the entire pirate group. With Venom's own ability, everyone relies on him and believes in what he says is truth. Today, the Venom pirates have confirmed 4 members. Nami, she is a Mara fruit-capable person. Robin, she is a person with flower fruit ability. Venom, as the captain, is a cosmic symbiote. He can obtain the devil fruit ability of the host through parasitism. He would never consider devil fruit. In other words, Karina is the weakest among the Venom pirates right now. She longs for power. Karina doesn't want to be a transparent person on the ship. It's normal to be tempted when you see devil fruit suddenly appearing. After everyone discussed, They all looked at Venom, wanting to know what Venom was thinking. Ahem. This is indeed a devil fruit, and it's Logia's devil fruit. What? As Venom finished speaking, everyone around was stunned. Confirmed. The boss said it was devil fruit. Or the rarest Logia devil fruit. But when I put the fruit in the refrigerator, I didn't find anything abnormal. How did this devil fruit appear? Vivi was puzzled and said in a daze. Devil fruit will look for fruits again to parasitize after the Esper dies. Venom smiled and explained. Under Venom's detailed explanation, some people immediately reacted. So, boss, you are saying that this is Crocodile's ability? Is it sand fruit? Karina was shocked. I heard Venom explain this. Being good at association, she immediately thought of the recently deceased demon fruit power. Mr. Five and Miss Valentine are both Paramesha. As for Logia, it can only be Crocodile. And looking at the shape of this devil fruit, it looks like a cactus, which is indeed related to the desert. Yes, it's Logia sand fruit. Seeing Venom nod, Karina was completely excited. He immediately hugged Venom and started kissing her madly. Seeing Karina's performance, Nami and Robin were both happy. Everyone has seen the power of Crocodile, and his sand fruit ability can be said to be very powerful. If it weren't for the stronger Venom, Crocodile wouldn't have died at all. Anyone else would have been helpless. The ability to mobilize yellow sand and transform it into elements is very cool when you think about it. Nami and Robin are already capable users, so they don't need devil fruit. Naturally, I hope to add a strong person to the ship, and that can only be Karina. With sand fruit, Karina has reached the sky in one step. A strong person will definitely win the spot. Didn't you see it? Karina is so greedy that her mouth is watering. Venom never thought that devil fruit would come so quickly. What's certain is that if Karina gains the sand fruit power, it will also transition to Venom himself. Who can say no to a new power? And sand fruit itself is not weak. It is much stronger than other devil fruits in the sea. Only, the strength came too quickly, and it was a bit beyond the scale of the development of his pirate group. Because, from Venom's perspective, there is another phantom beast species waiting for him in the new world. That is the vampire form of the zone bat fruit from Sleeping Town. Compared with sand fruit, the phantom beast devil fruit can better complement the team's shortcomings. According to Venom's memory, this fruit is in Sleeping Ancient Town. He would lie quietly in the ruins, and a few years later he would be taken into the possession of the Red Earl. Ordinary people can't take it away at all. At that time, the Red Earl relied on Robin to decipher the words in the ruins and found it. Now Robin has joined his team. In other words, as long as you go to New World, you can get the bat fruit. Here comes the problem. Getting the phantom beast bat fruit is what Venom has to do. By then, no one on the ship could eat. What to do? Expanding the crew. Karina, there is actually a more powerful devil fruit waiting for you. I'll think about this one again. After Venom finished speaking, Karina was immediately surprised. There is a more powerful devil fruit. Boss, are you serious? Devil fruit is a secret treasure in the sea. How can it be so easy to get? Karina thought quietly, more of a disbelief. And Nami directly put a roasted chestnut on her head. Hey, if the boss says it will happen, it will happen. If the boss says it will be stronger, it will become stronger. The boss is the prophet of the sea. Begging for a beating. Oops, it hurts. Karina touched her head and showed a pained expression. Of course I believe it, but I can't wait any longer. Halfway through her words, Karina's mind suddenly changed. Looking at Princess Vivi on the side. Get thoughtful. When the Venom Pirates were founded, there were only two people, him and Nami. Venom's original intention was also to create a powerful pirate group. One is ability. At this point, Venom already has a plan. The other one is a crew member. The problem now is, Devil Fruit has the ability, but the crew seems to be a little short. Although Nico Robin has joined, she has certain abilities and already has flower fruit. Under such circumstances, only Karina is relatively weak among the Venom Pirates. Sand fruit is pretty good though, but it more or less overlaps with Nami's abilities. And the highest combat power of the Venom Pirates is all integrated into Venom alone. So, if you still need devil fruit, the first target of the Venom is the vampire form of the bat fruit, the phantom beast. This is also his next plan. Go directly to the New World. Karina pouted and understood Venom's intentions. It turns out that Boss Venom has already arranged a path for himself, so he can just go on his own. Therefore, sand fruit suddenly lost its flavor. She knew that there were even better abilities waiting for her. Boss Venom is awesome. The care has reached 360 degrees with no blind spots. It can be said that the little girl's thoughts were completely manipulated by him. Therefore, when the pirate group has sand fruit, who eats it is a problem. Karina looked at Vivi and suddenly said, "Boss, Vivi is our good friend. It would be great if she could join our pirate group." Faced with Karina's proposal, Vivi was a little confused. During these 3 days, Vivi ate and slept with Nami and the others, and heard a lot about Venom during this period. Venom saves Nami's village, taking Karina from East Blue to the New World. There are also plans to completely eliminate the fear in Nico Robin's heart. Even a thoughtful person like Robin opened her heart and embraced the entire group during the journey. Under the influence of what she heard and saw, Vivi also had the illusion of sailing with everyone. But, after all, she is the princess of a country. The responsibility is still too heavy. Vivi would feel sorry for her own people if she wanted to go overseas at will. Now Karina wants to invite herself. Vivi is very happy. But at the same time she felt sad because of the pity. Nami showed doubts and said directly, "Karina, do you mean to ask Vivi to join us and eat this sand fruit?" I think Vivi needs to agree first. After saying that, Nami and others looked at Vivi. Vivi was a little nervous and didn't know how to answer this. To be honest, although Crocodile caused chaos in Alabasta, it had a lot to do with sand fruit, but it had to do with manpower and had nothing to do with ability. At the same time, the Venom pirates defeated Crocodile without any effort this time, and the opponent's power was clearly visible. If you use sand fruit to protect Alabasta, it is the best choice. But if you really want to join the pirate group, you can get the sand fruit. It was difficult for Vivi to make a decision at the moment. Venom looked at the situation on the field and had an idea in his mind. "Ladies, let me perform a magic trick for you." As he spoke, the Venom directly parasitized Nami. Single flower. Venom crossed his arms and used Robin's move on Nami. Then, in front of everyone, an arm suddenly appeared on the table and lifted the sand fruit. Venom waved his hand. "Alabasta has just experienced the devastation of Crocodile and it will take some time to recover. Vivi is a princess and has a heavy responsibility. We can wait for Alabasta to restore peace before letting her board the ship. Do you understand? Venom doesn't need to pull Vivi on board now either. But if you use Vivi to transfer the ability of sand fruit, Venom is more than happy to do that too. While sand fruit is important, Venom is more confident. To be a pirate, you don't necessarily need to sail the ocean to be considered a pirate group. Just like Doflamingo, he can occupy a country and develop his power underground. According to Venom's observations over the past 2 days, it is only a matter of time before Vivi joins her own forces. "Boss, you are so considerate." Karina understood immediately and immediately hugged Nami and praised her. The boss means to let Vivi eat the sand fruit, and then copy the ability. In this way, we have another kind of power on the ship. "Vivi, the boss wants to develop you." Vivi has long known about the Venom parasitizing other people's bodies. When Karina said this, she immediately blushed. However, when I thought about how I wanted to have a good relationship with the Venom pirates, I didn't refuse. "Really, is it really okay?" Karina nodded proudly. Nami and Robin both laughed. Of course, the boss said it all. Use the abilities Crocodile used to protect Alabasta. It's also a very touching thing to think about. "Boss Venom, I'm ready. If peace can be restored to Alabasta one day, I will join the pirate group." After saying that, Vivi closed her eyes and said with some expectation in her heart. Venom smiled and floated right out of Nami. "Of course, our pirate ship is called Nefertari. Although Venom parasitism has happened 3 times in the Venom Pirates, every time they see it, the girls feel amazing. At the same time, it is also because of the parasitic relationship of Venom. The relationship between Nami and Karina Robin is much closer than usual. It's like wearing the same clothes. In the blink of an eye, the Venom has completed its parasitism. Under the operation of the venom, the sand fruit was peeled off and eaten by Vivi. Wow, devil fruit is so astringent. Bah, bah, bah. After swallowing, Vivi felt the bitter taste coming from her tongue. Seeing the elements begin to form on her palms, Vivi marveled at the magic of the sea. Boss, while we are still in Alabasta, why don't we parasitize Vivi and develop her abilities? Nami said with a smile. Everyone on this ship has become stronger under the cultivation of venom. Now that the venom is parasitic on Vivi again, she will naturally have to adapt. Before Vivi had time to fully experience sand fruit's ability, she heard that her father was going to meet Venom, so she said, "Boss Venom, let's go first. The royal banquet is about to begin. Ho, let's go. Get some free time." Venom also opened his own new panel. With a call, a transparent panel immediately appeared. Host, Venom, the first parasite, Nami 100%. Plant the mark and you can transfer it at any time. Second parasite host, Karina 85%. The third parasite, Nico Robin 25%. The fourth parasite, Nefeltari Vivi 5%. Abilities, Mara fruit, armament hockey, marine 6 styles, flower fruit, sand fruit, observation hockey. Nami's parasitic extreme has reached 100%. And reaching 100%, in addition to making Venom and Nami become more compatible, it also has an additional skill. Now, Venom and Nami can communicate telepathically even if they are separated. At the same time, as long as the Venom has a thought, no matter where Nami is in the world, the Venom can be transferred to her body instantly. No distance limit. At first glance, this skill looks like a long-distance parasitic skill. But if you think about it carefully, if you increase the progress of Karina and Robin, then Venom will have a few more human body coordinates and the ability to teleport, which is very strategic. At the same time, it can bring more complete protection to the crew. Because only when the venom is in the body is the parasitic host most powerful. In addition to changes in crew parasitism progress, an observation hockey has also been added. Observation hockey is very common in the Grand Line. It is also one of the necessary skills. Without observation hockey, the pirates would be unable to move forward. This is why Venom is going to New World to get the bat fruit. He believes that the most powerful fruit is hardware conditions. As long as the hardware configuration of the crew is fixed and then they are trained, the Venom Pirates' conquest of the Grand Line will be much smoother. Alabasta Palace. When Vivi, Nami and others came to the palace, the sky seemed to have received a call, and it began to drizzle. This is the first rain in a year. A good sign for Alabasta. In the past 2 days, under the propaganda of the royal family, the people have learned about the disaster that Alabasta has suffered. Now Crocodile, the culprit responsible for the drought, has died. The entire royal city was bustling with excitement and celebrations. In response, the palace prepared a sumptuous dinner, used to thank the heroes of Alabasta. In fact, due to concerns, Vivi did not reveal Venom's identity as a pirate. In the palace, when he saw Vivi entering with Nami and others, Cobra looked around and frowned involuntarily. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why are they all girls? Why haven't you seen the heroic prince named Venom? There are actually 3 beauties next to Vivi. Could it be that one of them is Venom? Cobra thought of his daughter's adoration when she spoke of Venom. I couldn't help but frown. Could it be that Vivi is a lesbian? However, Cobra was the king after all and did not continue to delve deeper. Also believe in your own vision. My daughter is not that kind of person, she has Prince Charming written in her eyes. As the king of Alabasta, I am here to welcome you all. Thank you for smashing Crocodile's conspiracy and bringing good news to Alabasta. I heard Vivi say that a boy named Venom saved Alabasta. Can you tell me where he is now? Cobra came up to him and said with great gratitude. At the same time, he kept winking at Vivi, afraid of neglecting the guests who saved the kingdom. Also at this time, Venom suddenly appeared on Vivi's shoulder. That look scared Cobra and made him take 3 steps back. What's going on? What is this? It actually popped out from Vivi's shoulders. Just like the creature inside Vivi's body. Cobra has never seen Venom, nor does he understand its origins. Naturally, I feel scared. I am even more worried about Vivi's safety. Venom had no scruples. He came to the palace just to let the crew relax. He said directly, I am Venom. As Venom finished speaking, both Cobra and other palace ministers looked shocked. Is this strange creature Venom? In his impression, aren't all heroes tall and handsome? How did you get here to Venom? Is he not even a person anymore? Cobra shook his head to calm himself down. Are you Venom? After all, he is the king and cannot be the first to mess up. Vivi smiled and introduced to Cobra. Father, this is the Venom that killed Crocodile. He and I have become best friends. He likes the Nefertari very much. After the explanation, Cobra also understood the special nature of Venom. Although there is no more heroic prince, Vivi's future marriage is coming to an end. However, since the other party has become friends with Vivi and is the savior of the entire Alabasta, he can adjust even if it is far below Cobra's expectations. Cobra nodded. You have saved tens of millions of people in Alabasta this time. Please accept our royal family as a representative to express our gratitude to you. Cobra took the lead, and the other ministers also saluted Venom and others. Thank you for your kindness. They all sincerely thanked Venom. Princess Vivi was very proud to see Venom being respected by the royal family. Venom didn't care, though. Nami and Karina were already staring at the delicious food on the table. The two lived in difficult conditions since childhood and were children of poor families. To put it bluntly, I have never seen such a luxurious palace. They were very interested in the various decorations and food inside. Naturally, I have to explore it. Robin on the other hand also smiled very reassuringly. After living in the pirate group for 2 days, not only did Venom accept her, but even Vivi, the princess of Alabasta, alienated herself because she was a special agent of Baroque Company, Limited. Although I am used to being lonely. But it feels good to be accepted. At this time, Vivi told with some excitement, Father, I have some good news for you. Faced with the good news from Vivi, Cobra smiled and said, what good news can be better than uncovering Crocodile? I have the power to protect Alabasta. Quote. The people around him were confused. Vivi directly mobilizes the rustling ability in the body. The yellow sand radiates from her palm like a rhythm. It was like a sandman dancing on the palm of her hand. Feeling proud, Vivi smiled and said, how about it? This is Sand Fruit's ability. Boss Venom gave it to me. He asked me to use this ability to protect Alabasta. Ah, Cobra's eyes widened when he saw the changes in Vivi. After knowing that Crocodile was the mastermind behind it, Cobra immediately sent people to find out the information. Who is Crocodile, what is his strength, or what deeds he has done? Crocodile's information was turned upside down. Sand Fruit's abilities also frightened Cobra. He deeply knows what kind of huge power it is. Without Venom, the consequences would be unimaginable. I never expected that the ability would now be given to my daughter. Could Cobra not be shocked? And as Vivi said, as long as Sand Fruit can be used properly, it can indeed become the backbone of the defense of the desert country. The entire banquet was spent in a joyful atmosphere. During this period, every senior member of the royal family cast a respectful look at Venom. In their understanding, it was the other party who left the Sand Fruit to Alabasta. This secret treasure of the sea is really valuable. In the market, the worst devil fruits are worth 100 million, while the top Logia devil fruits like Sand Fruit are still snapped up by people even if they are offered for 1 billion. One fruit can create a strong man. This kind of thing really exists. Alabasta is not without demon fruit power. However, the power of those devil fruits is not very strong and cannot act as a deterrent at all. And these ministers all know that half of the reputation of Marine Admiral is due to their ability to possess the Logia devil fruit. So, Sand Fruit exists. It can elevate Alabasta to a higher level. Especially, this Sand Fruit is still on the Princess of Alabasta. This is definitely a blessing for the entire country. Disaster turned directly into luck, causing all the senior executives of Alabasta to clear away the long-suppressed haze. After the banquet, with the help of Venom, Vivi was also trained. The next day, just when Vivi got up, Venom came out from under the quilt. Through what he saw and heard, he noticed an unfriendly energy appearing in the palace. It seems to be directed at myself. In the palace meeting hall, Cobra received the visitor, and what he saw was a tall and thin man. Full of oppression. This man is none other than Admiral of Headquarters Aokiji. People like Marine Admiral visited in person. Cobra and other ministers suppressed their anger. If it were in the past, they would have received a 100% high-standard reception. However, Alabasta has been in trouble this year. Cobra asked for help many times but no one was willing to help. The surrounding marine base seemed to have received a signal, and when they saw Alabasta's envoys, they all responded perfunctorily. Now, Crocodile, the culprit, has been killed. What's the point of Marine coming? What does Admiral mean? When did this country need Marine Admiral? Aokiji didn't have the time to get close to a king. He went straight to the point. I think you should know the purpose of my coming. Can you hand over the Venom pirates? In fact, after Cobra saw Venom, he was shocked by his appearance. Such a strange creature is easy to remember. After the banquet, the palace ministers investigated the basic information about the Venom pirates. Normally, the royal family should not establish contact with pirates. But this news was quickly suppressed by Cobra. Can help Alabasta solve the problem and give Vivi-san sandfruit as a gift. Even if the other party is a pirate, so what? Doesn't the Marine Admiral in front of me need to be noble? What did Marine Admiral do? What did the Venom pirates do? The results are obvious. Therefore, Cobra simply ignored the identity of the Venom pirates, and asked everyone to pretend that nothing happened, treating them as ordinary heroes, thinking of entertaining Venom for a few days. Now, with the arrival of Aokiji, we are still talking about Venom. Cobra immediately felt something was wrong. Cobra winked at a minister and said, Mr. Admiral, this is the palace of Alabasta. What pirates are you talking about? We only have guards here. While Cobra was talking to Aokiji, this one sneaked out. Aokiji let out a breath of cold air, and the air in the entire reception room became a bit colder. The royal family received the pirates and held a banquet. He can ignore it. After all, Venom is beholden to Alabasta. In fact, he understands the truth. However, Marshal Sengoku has already given the order. But he came with a mission. Venom must be captured. King Cobra, I think you should know that Shichibukai and Marine are from the same camp. Now Crocodile lost his life in Alabasta, and it has been confirmed that it was the Venom pirates who did it. I also know for sure that he is in the palace now, somewhere. No need to cover up anymore. Hand them over and let this matter be over. As Aokiji's straightforward words fell, the scene became solidified. At the same time, another part of the palace. No, Princess Vivi, Marine Admiral is here. She's looking for Lord Venom. A maid hurriedly came to Vivi's palace to report. Vivi had just woken up and immediately stood up nervously. Marine Admiral. The maid looked panicked and immediately reported the news. Well, the king can't stop him anymore. Please take Master Venom and the others out of the palace immediately. Hehe, it doesn't matter, we have to leave anyway. That's just right, Vivi, we will see you again. Venom's voice was bland, sitting on Vivi's shoulders. As if talking about a simple thing. That's the Marine Admiral. He's the most powerful person among the Marines. Boss Venom, please leave quickly. I will go find everyone after the Alabasta matter is completely resolved. Vivi sounded a little anxious. Marine Admiral, she knew something. I just didn't expect that the appearance of Venom would actually attract Marine Admiral. Is it because of Shichibukai? Seeing this, Venom smiled and said, okay, I'm going to take action. By the way, this maid, can you give me a message for that Marine Admiral? Ah, Lord Venom, please tell me. Just say I'll be waiting for him in the desert to the east. After Venom finished speaking, his figure flashed and disappeared. Venom boss. Seeing the Venom disappearing out of thin air, Vivi became a little confused. According to Venom, he wants to fight Marine Admiral. Is it because this is the royal palace that the eastern desert was chosen? How is this possible? You just fought a Shichibukai, now you have to face the Marine Admiral. That is a much more powerful person than Shichibukai. Princess. The maid hesitated on the side, wondering whether she should send a message to Marine Admiral. Vivi took a deep breath. After a while, he said, just do what the boss wants. After saying that, Vivi got up and walked directly towards the direction where Nami and the others lived. Yes, Princess, in the Alabasta Desert, Venom and others are moving forward. They are going to Rapeseed Port to find the Neferutari. Meanwhile, Venom is waiting for someone. Nami said nervously. Boss, will Marine Admiral really come? He was already in the palace at that time. It was my father who sent the news, so I told Boss Venom. Vivi replied on the side. Originally, Venom didn't plan to let Vivi see him off, but Vivi just wanted to follow. Call. Hearing Vivi's answer, the other crew members except Venom took a heavy breath. Marine Admiral. For them, it was too frightening. As far as I know, there are 3 admirals in Marine. They are the most powerful in Marine. I don't know which one is coming this time. Karina looked up at the bright sun. Robin followed without saying a word. But she looked very bad. Because one of her shadows is Marine Admiral. The person who ordered O'Hara to use Buster Call is now Marine Admiral Akainu. At the same time, Marine Admiral Aokiji was also involved. Even throughout these years, Nico Robin has been under Aokiji's surveillance. Although Aokiji did not directly harm Robin's life, the shadow of terror hovered over Nico Robin's head like a dark cloud. Also at this time, the surrounding air dropped sharply, and a hint of coldness instantly penetrated everyone's skin. Robin didn't feel cold because the venom possessed her body. Sudden changes occurred, except for Venom himself. The other crew members were a little stunned. Their eyes were looking into the distance. Then, Venom and others saw a tall and thin figure. The cloak of justice flutters in the wind, sizzling in minutes. The moment he saw the figure, Robin's pupils suddenly shrank. If it weren't for the venom parasitism, she would have instinctively taken a few steps back. Aokiji. Nico Robin stared at the tall and thin voice, and his tone became serious. Marine Admiral, that is the peak power of truly standing on the sea. This Shichibukai is far more powerful than Crocodile. There are only 3 such existences even among Marines. But now, it actually appeared in Alabasta. Obviously, they are still chasing the Venom pirates. Although he had been vaccinated against the Venom, Robin was still very scared when he saw it now. Nico Robin. Aokiji spat out the words lazily. And his eyes were fixed on Nico Robin. On the surface, it would be impossible to tell where Venom is if he doesn't choose to show up. Aokiji can only find someone familiar with it. Looking at it this way, you have betrayed me again. Aokiji's tone was cold. Looking at the current situation, we know that Nico Robin betrayed Crocodile before joining the Venom pirates. So, is Crocodile the reason for Robin's betrayal? For Robin, Aokiji was disappointed again. In fact, what Aokiji didn't know was that every word like this made Robin feel a little heavier. These years, the words, "You betrayed me again," were said many times. Like a sledgehammer, it hit my heart hard. It is not easy for Robin to survive, and the pressure can be imagined. Crocodile's whereabouts were correct as he informed him. However, the other party is simply taking advantage of him. The same goes for the previous pirates. They obviously wanted to exchange themselves for the bounty, so what if they killed them? Betrayal, betrayal, betrayal. What kind of betrayal is this? Only worthy people deserve loyalty. I didn't betray. I didn't betray. Robin's words seemed a little helpless. However, Nami and Karina also saw that Robin was targeted by Aokiji. Although I don't know what the dispute is between the two. But Robin is already a crew member recognized by Boss Venom, so Nami will naturally not be polite. What about Marine Admiral? Nami was not afraid at all and shouted directly to Aokiji. Robin is our partner and has nothing to do with you. You are not even qualified to comment. Soon, Nami and Karina fell in love with Robin. Vivi was also holding Robin's arm and comforting her. With the support of everyone, Robin felt much more relaxed. At this time, Venom wafted out of Robin. The evil voice came out. Hey hey hey, if you want to bully my crew, why don't you ask me, the captain, first? Seeing the arrival of Venom, the true master. My own brows wrinkled. This Venom Pirates group is very strange. How can they protect Nico Robin? It seems the information is wrong. These people in front of me must have known each other for a long time. Fortunately, this time the admiral sent by the headquarters was him. We can also take this opportunity to completely cut off the intersection of Nico Robin. Robin hesitated for a long time, and finally asked a question that she had been avoiding for a long time. Boss, do you really trust me? Of course, you are welcome to join. Okay, no need to say any more, let me solve this matter first. Venom also has capital when he says this. First of all, his physique is much stronger than Aokiji's. In addition, he has the bonus of 3 devil fruits, and he also has an armor color and a knowledge color. He can still come and go with these against a Marine Admiral. In order to have a more hearty battle, Venom said to the other crew members, "You go to Rapeseed Flowers first, Robin and I will just stay here." "Yes, boss." For the departure of others, Aokiji did not choose to stop him. Now he can completely see that the pirate group has Venom as its core. As long as Venom is caught, other fish that slip through the net will sooner or later have to escape the fate of escorting Impel down. Aokiji's face was cold and there was no expression on his face. The air exhaled from the nose instantly condensed into ice. "Then I'll send you to the undersea prison this time. I'm not interested." With that said, the Venom directly possessed Robin's body and formed a battle armor. "Robin, we're about to go." HMPH. Aokiji and Smoker are good friends. And Smoker is now beaten up by Venom. It is said that he will have to lie in bed for several months. Against this backdrop, Aokiji is not prepared to hold back. And he also called Smoker and learned about the Venom. He also knows that Venom is a terrifying creature with parasitic ability. Ice skates. Aokiji exhaled a breath of cold air from his mouth, forming an ice blade. Hold it directly in your hand. Next moment, a layer of ice of several dozen centimeters formed on the originally hot sand. Call out. Aokiji flew by and immediately struck at Venom. Sizzle. With Aokiji's swing of the knife, Venom's entire body was frozen into ice. The sounds of ice breaking were heard. Venom, who was well prepared, flipped his left hand, and arms grew out of the ice, carrying him far away with one lift. Flower Fruit's ability. Venom is suitable for all types of combat. The next second, 2 huge hands made of flames suddenly appeared on the ice where Aokiji was, and they were about to catch Aokiji as soon as they were closed. Aokiji melted directly into the ice, and in the blink of an eye, he popped out of the ice in the distance. This is the combined skills of Mara Fruit and Flower Fruit. Why isn't the Mara Fruit on the crew member Nami? Is the information wrong? When Aokiji's complete body came out, his eyes with cold eyes were staring at the Venom. Sure enough, this opponent is not as simple as it seems. He has a secret that even Marine doesn't know about. And Venom also put away the previous ease. The figure hours directly from where it was. The next second Aokiji appeared behind Aokiji. The sword composed of the Venom armor was wrapped around the armament hockey, and it was aimed directly behind Aokiji. At the same time, a voice sounded with a hint of teasing. "Don't distract me, Marine Admiral." Aokiji's eyes widened. Shave. A newbie pirate from East Blue actually used advanced combat skills. Aha! The black blade directly cut through the air, tearing the sky, whizzing past. Sweep it over without reservation. Clang. Snap. Aokiji immediately used his skate to stop it. With Venom's domineering physical strength, he is clearly superior to Armament Hockey's blade. Aokiji's ice blade was cut off instantly, and his head was separated from the body. The light of the blade fell on the sand dunes 100 meters away. A fire explosion immediately formed. The whole sand was turned over. Call. Aokiji's head was still flying in the air, and the cold air was still flying in the air. The next second, a new head was regenerated on the body. I just used elementalization to avoid this slashing attack. The cold gradually dissipated, leaving Aokiji intact. Robin, who was parasitized by the Venom, looked surprised. She never thought that Venom would have the upper hand in front of the almost invincible Aokiji. And, at this moment, the Venom still possessed him. The sense of security brought by this power has never been greater. Frozen fruit is really extraordinary. Venom secretly admired. Aokiji is very powerful, and his reflexes are enough to make people despair. It will not be the highest combat power of naval headquarters. Although the two fought fiercely, they were unable to do anything to each other. Although Aokiji looked calm, he didn't show any surprise on his face. But he began to be secretly vigilant in his heart. Venom just created a blade out of thin air, and the force of the blade was very strong. Can easily break his own ice blade. It's enough to show how powerful this slash is. What makes Aokiji even more important is that the opponent can use armament hockey and can also convert the blade into a pyroblast. Tricky. The person in front of me is somewhat unpredictable. If attacked by the opponent, Aokiji is not sure that it will be intact. Not waiting for Aokiji to take action, an afterimage flew past so fast that the naked eye could not catch it. At this speed, even Aokiji's sight and color were hard to capture. The only thing that can be stopped is to block the opponent's way. Puck. Aokiji puts his palms together and releases 5 icicles directly towards the Venom. Soon, under the tracking of 5 icicles, Venom's route was cut off. He felt that whenever he was touched by an icicle, he would be frozen. Although there are 10,000 ways for Venom to come out of ice, freezing should be avoided if possible. And just when Venom dodged, Aokiji's attack comes again. Frozen time capsule. A blast of cold air rushed out from his hands. Just like bullets, this air conditioning bullet is extremely fast and leaves an icy path wherever it passes. At the same time, Venom's figure turned into endless flames. The firebirds composed of flames spread out and flew directly towards Aokiji's attack. Boom boom boom. The explosion caused by the collision between the two was extremely terrifying. Thousands of meters around were enveloped by the explosion. The dazzling fire can attract people even if they are dozens of miles away. Layers of explosions. The ice is constantly being overturned, turning into steam and dissipating. Even the surrounding air was a little distorted. Nami and Karina Vivi have come a long way. When looking back, they all looked complicated. Boss will be fine. No matter who it is, they are no match for the boss. Well, even the Marine Admiral. Wait for the smoke to dissipate. The smoke and dust in the sky were slowly blown away by the wind. The center point of the explosion. Venom's figure disappeared. Aokiji looked at this scene with some confusion. After a brief battle, Aokiji has understood that the Venom is not so easy to eliminate. But what happens if it suddenly disappears? Is the other party escaping? Pirates are always pirates. Will they run away if they can't be defeated? How many times has this happened? Just when Aokiji was thinking, the surrounding sand began to spread. In an instant, several powerful salon rolls were formed within a kilometer radius around Aokiji. A tornado composed of yellow sand rolled across the desert. The volume gets bigger and bigger. They keep rotating around Aokiji, as if they are waiting for an opportunity to lock on Aokiji. This is sand fruit. Seeing the salon roll that was about to hit, Aokiji's heart was overturned. Not long after Crocodile died, the sand fruit was captured by the Venom pirates. This, too lucky, right? As a Marine Admiral, Aokiji also has a wide range of knowledge. He knew that devil fruit would be reborn somewhere in the world after the Esper died. But what a coincidence, was it obtained by the Venom pirates? As far as Aokiji is aware, there is no such thing as devil fruit recycling. So, Venom was able to get the sand fruit only by luck. But, what's up with him having so many devil fruit abilities? It's understandable that Robin has flower fruit ability. Therefore, Mara fruit and sand fruit are definitely not from Robin. So, that leaves Venom. Can one person own 2 devil fruits at the same time? It's outrageous no matter how you look at it. Is it because of his race? Aokiji was not given time to think. Venom's eyes narrowed and he shook his big hand. As if being mobilized, the salon roll swept directly towards Aokiji. A huge storm forms in the desert, covering the sky and blocking out the sun. The entire sky began to darken. Salon rolls swept by. The yellow sand on the ground was blown up. The ruins of human structures on the desert were blown over directly and involved in the tornado. The other side, Aokiji mobilizes energy in the body. Giant, violent pheasant mouth. Aokiji gathered cold air on his arms and released 5 huge ice birds in succession. The ice bird releases cold air, as if it is about to freeze the earth. They all ran towards the salon. It's so fast it cuts through the air. Welcome the coming wind knife. Bang bang bang. The sound of breaking ice continued to sound in the air. The resulting impact blast sounded continuously. The violent wind of the explosion roared, and Aokiji's cloak of justice was blown away. It seems you are underestimated. Aokiji left a message and turned into ice. His eyes were cold, and cold air surged from Aokiji's body crazily. Ice Age. As Aokiji drank, the surrounding air immediately dropped to freezing point. Under his terrifying cold blessing, it felt like the air in front of me made a freezing sound. With Aokiji as the center of the circle, the entire land began to freeze rapidly and continued to expand rapidly. 1,000 meters of ground beneath Aokiji's feet was frozen. Where are the desert landscapes? The whole land is like the polar regions. This kind of coldness makes people unable to avoid it. The frozen land is really spectacular. Venom showed a smile. As expected of Logia's top ability, even yellow sand can be frozen. Snapped. A snap of the fingers. A flame shot straight into the sky. Gradually expanded. Soon, a giant fireball with a diameter of several hundred meters formed in the sky. Just as bright as the sun. Next moment, the extremely domineering power was smashed down by the Venom. Great flame ring. The atmosphere is scorching and the ice is gradually melting. Even the surrounding space is a little distorted. Turbulent water vapor emerged from the ground crazily, seeming to swallow everything. The dazzling endless light collided with layers of ice. Boom, 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 boom. The roaring explosion echoed through the sky. The sound waves spread layer by layer like a tsunami. The sound of the explosion could be clearly heard throughout Alabasta. The place with Aokiji is the center. A land with a radius of 1 kilometer. It is directly crushed into powder. The yellow sand everywhere turned into powder. Huge cracks formed in the desert. Countless yellow sand falls like a waterfall. Far away, Nami and others looked at this scene in surprise. This battle is far better than the old Yamato crocodile battle. What kind of power is that? Boss, everything will be okay, and Robin. Karina's eyes widened and she felt dizzy. Then, their gaze. I saw the dazzling sun, exploding instantly. At the same time, Alabasta Palace. On a palace. Cobra looked at the scene in the distance in shock, and the surrounding ministers trembled. What on earth is this? A minister said with difficulty. His eyes were full of shock. Although Cobra is the king of Alabasta, he is the master of a country. But he had never seen such a powerful impact in his life. Everyone's situation is similar. The situation in the desert in the distance is like gods and demons dancing wildly. Vivi. She went to the desert, where the Venom pirates and Marine Admiral. Cobra looked at everything in front of him worriedly. Vivi's maid not only came to declare a challenge to Marine Admiral Aokiji. It was also reported that Vivi suddenly left. Vivi is the princess of Alabasta and the daughter of Cobra. He understands Vivi's thoughts very well. Vivi will not sit idly by and ignore the benefactor who saved Alabasta. She must have gone to find them. Involuntarily, Cobra became worried. He hopes that Venom and the others can win. Boom boom boom. Ding ding ding. Exploding flames, solid ice, constantly bursting and shattering. The power generated by the pyrotechnic explosion turned into power, disintegrating the solid ice layer bit by bit. Aokiji jumped away from the spot, and his palms continued to release icicles, and more melted ice condensed again. Now, Aokiji began to gradually change the original situation. But, even Aokiji found it difficult to release the cold energy continuously like this. His face, which was already serious, became even more solemn at this moment. On the other hand, perhaps because of the armor, Venom seems a bit unfathomable. Ding ding ding. Finally, countless ice picks rose from the ground and fell like a violent storm on the Venom at an invisible speed. Facing the densely packed ice pick nails, Venom's expression remained unchanged. Flame, sand waterfall, they are all his offensive weapons. Even under the long-term fusion of flames and desert, it has turned into colored glaze. Tens of thousands of glass fragments gathered into an unstoppable torrent of color. Swoop down. Dang, dang, dang. Boom boom boom. The two fragments collided with each other, causing violent energy fluctuations. Ice blue ice and colorful Madara glass are intertwined, constantly eroding the other party. And at this time, the Venom rushes down with flames. Devil Fruit's abilities have been tested. No matter how colorful the battle is, the two sides will not be able to tell the winner for a while. Logia's Devil Fruit already has a huge advantage. Just to avoid harm, even if one side is strong, the other side is weak. It is also difficult to determine the winner in a short period of time. And Venom didn't want to wait. He wants to set sail and go to the new world to find the bat fruit puzzle piece. Therefore, he couldn't afford to wait. The look of Venom wrapped in flames fell into the eyes of Nami and others. Otherwise, they were shocked again. Whether it's fighting a dragon, or Smoker from Logue Town, or Crocodile, the intensity of the battle was nowhere near greater than it is now. This time, the terrain can even be permanently changed. This, boss, he hid it too deep. Woohoo, I didn't expect the boss to be so powerful. Karina looked at the scene in front of her with wide eyes, full of disbelief. Nami's eyes flashed with fire, and her expression was very determined. Where is it? It was just that the boss was not serious before. The energy in the boss's body is far more powerful than we imagined, but he only had few opponents. Good, I feel so safe. When did I become so powerful? Alabasta doesn't have to worry about me anymore, Vivi said to herself. Vivi, do you know what the boss said when he first saw me? Nami's voice sounded. He said, as a crew member, you have to prioritize your captain. And as the captain, I will help the crew solve all the troubles. You should trust your captain 100%. So, when you truly join us, he will protect the entire Alabasta. Nami's voice was firm, which made Karina feel the same. Yes. When I entered the Grand Line, I was also worried all day long, not knowing how to take the future. But after being truly parasitized by the boss, I knew, the venomous boss, it's the sea-fixing needle in my body. I'm sorry, Vivi said apologetically. In fact, the situations of the three people are similar, but they are also different. In comparison, Kokoja village has been saved by Venom, while the people of Alabasta are still in disaster. Although Crocodile is dead, but the people seem to have been fatally injured and it will take time to heal the scars. Therefore, Vivi, as the Princess of Alabasta, has a lot of pressure. This is also the reason why she has not joined the Venom Pirates for the time being. But, after hearing Nami and Karina's comfort, Vivi has decided to look for the Venom Pirates once the situation in Alabasta calms down. She also wants to sail, especially when her eyes saw the 1,000-meter desert turned into wasteland. My heart is even more determined to the extreme. She saw a sense of security in Venom that she had never experienced before. Whether it's for yourself or the entire Alabasta. At this time, covered in Venom, Nico Robin was also shocked to the point of being overwhelmed by the strength shown by Venom. She asked, Boss, did you do this on purpose? Robin didn't know why Venom possessed him and started this battle, and based on Venom's previous understanding of himself, he had a deep understanding of the fear in Robin's heart. Fear of power, fear of Marine, fear of the Marine Admiral. Since the same year, this dark cloud has been floating overhead and has never dissipated. Venom seemed very relaxed, and he smiled. There are only 3 Marine Admirals, and Robin, you have grudges with 2 of them. Akainu used Buster Call to destroy your hometown, and Aokiji is watching you all the time. To put it nicely, focus on your growth. The reality is that as long as you exceed his expectations, he will eliminate you mercilessly. So, you guessed it right. I just want to tell you that I will sweep away all the haze in your heart at once. I just hope that you can smile more in the future and forget the past. My crew shouldn't have to live in fear. Nico Robin trembled a little when he heard Venom's words, and his whole body was instantly moved. It turns out that everything was arranged by Venom. He has a plan for everything. When Venom sent word for a fight with Marine Admiral, he was already preparing to possess him and fight. The purpose is to tell himself that he has the ability to fight the Admiral, Marine's peak combat power. Also telling myself, you will be safe with Boss Venom. More importantly, Venom is different from Crocodile, different from Marine Admiral. He arranges everything and will prove it with practical actions. Robin's heart, filled with a crisis of trust, was instantly filled with a sense of security, and tears instantly flowed down his face. Boss, thank you. Please take more care of me in the future. I will live well for the boss, and I am willing to give everything for the boss. Hey, you are welcome to join us again, Venom said, and then took action. I don't have as many people as I said, so let's end it quickly. The adventure of the new world is still waiting for us. Aokiji's eyes were cold as he saw Venom swooping down. I also learned that he was going to fight with melee combat. Logia devil fruit is all about power suppression. When two parties are evenly matched, the only solution is through fists. Evenly matched. Unknowingly, Aokiji has regarded Venom as his opponent. Such an honor. Shichibukai is not qualified. The only people who can become Marine Admiral's opponents are the four emperors on the sea. However, the opponent was clearly a newcomer from East Blue who had just raised the pirate flag. East Blue seems peaceful, but there are always people who stir up trouble. It can be seen from his treatment of Smoker that he doesn't take Marine seriously at all. The most other pirates do is make trouble and cause trouble for the weak Marine to make a name for themselves. And Venom, if Logue Town wasn't well defended, he would definitely kill Smoker. Thinking of what happened to Crocodile, Aokiji also takes it seriously. The other party is really crazy. Bring it on. Aokiji rushed forward with countless sharp and shattering ice. Ding ding ding. Bang bang bang. At this moment, the entire desert resounded with the sound of energy explosion. Waves of energy soared into the sky after the collision. After impacting for an unknown number of meters, it exploded violently in the sky. Boom! The Alabasta royal city was only 20 miles away from the battle site. As the battle became intense, violent explosions resounded in the royal city. The people have no idea what is happening. You can only look at it from a distance. The atmosphere continued to vibrate, as if there was an earthquake. The space seemed to be distorted. The sky, which was originally covered with yellow sand, was now clear. All the dark clouds were swept away by the explosion. As the explosion sounded, Venom's attacks danced wildly with frequent moves, making it unstoppable. Ice skates. Aokiji used armament hockey to wrap around and attack without showing any signs of weakness. The voices of the two people kept flickering. Every time they fight, they cause a lot of damage to the ground. It's like the end of the world is coming. During this period, Venom transformed into his own weapon, Mara Mara Fruit's compressed pyroblast ability, salon rolls made of yellow sand, and desert sharp knives greeted Aokiji mercilessly. Again and again, the intervals between gaps are getting shorter and shorter. The energy fluctuations are getting stronger and stronger. Alabasta Palace. All the ministers looked nervous and made suggestions. King Cobra, should we send the army to take a look? Or let Lord Venom go and take a look? Although the news of Venom's destruction of Crocodile has spread throughout the capital. He became Alabasta's hero, but most people still don't know Venom's strength and identity. He even thought that Venom was still in the palace. Cobra raised a hand to stop the minister's suggestions and explained, Venom Benefactor has left. The movement in the desert now is that Venom Benefactor and Marine Admiral are fighting. What? Lord Venom, and Marine Admiral? It's impossible. How did Marine Admiral come to Alabasta? Does Marine care about the life and death of the kingdom? Is it because of Lord Venom that Marine Admiral came? So, Marine is targeting our savior of Alabasta. Everyone has just learned about the character Venom, but who on the sea knows the name Marine Admiral? That is the highest combat power of naval headquarters. He is the man who stands at the top of the entire sea. Now, the heroes of Alabasta are still fighting the Marine Admiral. Immediately, all the surrounding ministers fell into shock. Oh my God, what is Lord Venom's identity? Is his strength equal to that of Marine Admiral? What kind of monster has Alabasta welcomed? There is no doubt that Marine Admiral's strength is beyond everyone's imagination. The ministers all know that even if they send troops, they are no match for Marine Admiral. Therefore, under such circumstances, everyone began to worry about the Venom. They were afraid that Venom would make any mistakes in this battle. Want to compare with everyone's shock. Cobra's eyes became firmer. Venom, a person who doesn't even care about sand fruit. How could one's own abilities be weak? Moreover, Vivi rushed to see Venom and the others off without her consent. According to the maid's report, yesterday, after the party, Venom trained Vivi on the use of sand fruit and some basic taijutsu skills. Last night, after cultivating Vivi, Venom was still sleeping in a palace with Vivi. As a father, Cobra didn't know how to evaluate this. Go ahead and deny Venom. He is sincerely cultivating Vivi's abilities. Go admit the Venom, but it always feels weird. In fact, it doesn't really matter how scary you look. The important thing is, it would be great if Venom was a human being. Maybe I think too much. Cobra shook his head to calm himself down. Now I see that Venom can make such a move against Marine Admiral. Cobra didn't think much about it. Anyway, the better the relationship between Vivi and Venom, the safer she would be. Cobra, even Vivi's father, can't control the rest. Chapter 51. Boom boom boom. Boom boom boom. The battle is still going on. The speed of the two figures was so fast that they could not be caught by the naked eye. The two are only visible when they briefly collide. Nico Robin, as a person who has been possessed, knows this very well. She didn't need to use any force at all, just observe carefully. And Venom has not been idle either. While fighting, he also taught Robin the use of observation hockey. This is a very important part of Venom's ship. He wants to train all crew members to become elites. Let them take charge. Just imagine, if faced with a pirate group like Whitebeard or an encirclement and suppression by Marine in the future, I would be at a loss for what to do. If every crew member has strong combat capabilities, Venom himself can switch back and forth between crew members and just be an inspector. Therefore, he believes that the initial investment is worth it. Do you realize it? Observation hockey. Boss, not yet, it's so difficult. What about finger pistol? Boss, I know a little bit. Then continue. Suddenly, Venom came up behind Aokiji and kicked out with a domineering kick. Boom, he was hit hard by armament hockey from behind. Aokiji flew directly backwards. Make a big hole in the sand. Countless ice cubes shattered. The Venom turned into yellow sand, his feet sprayed flames, and he followed closely. The Marine Admiral is extraordinary and cannot be compared to a simple Shichibukai. As soon as he finished speaking, the flame gun shot out from Venom's hand. At the same time, a small sandstorm, accompanied by flames, suddenly rotated. Space is distorted. It fell hard in the direction of Aokiji. Boom boom boom. Boom boom boom. The earth trembled. The entire royal city of Alabasta shook violently. The wind and sand swept across. A huge mushroom rose into the sky. The surrounding land for thousands of meters shattered, and yellow sand and boulders were carried into the air by the tornado. Countless buildings were directly razed to the ground. Fortunately, no one has lived here for a long time due to drought. Although the movement attracted everyone's attention, no one was worried about casualties. However, I hope it won't spread to the royal city. Logia users have the ability to level an island. If Venom is willing, he will let the surrounding royal cities enter the desert erosion. But he intentionally compressed the power. After all, this is the kingdom of his own crew and there is no need to destroy it. You are very powerful. Nico Robin has attached himself to an amazing person. Aokiji's figure appeared on the top of a piece of ice and stared at Venom. This has nothing to do with you. As a Marine, you only have orders and obedience, so don't talk about your nonsense with me. Venom looked at Aokiji's position. Robin is not just my crew member. At this time, the desert gradually dispersed, and the thick smoke and dust danced in the wind and fell freely. Really, all Aokiji thought about Venom's words. According to the current situation, Aokiji knows. Venom's fighting skills are perfect. The use of Marine 6 styles has even reached the point of proficiency. And coupled with the fact that the opponent is Logia Demon Fruit Power, it is already very difficult to capture it. Maybe I should accept this task. However, at this time, Observation Hockey personally felt the coming terrifying crisis. At the same time, terrifying murderous aura rose from behind him. Haven't turned around yet. Aokiji could feel a powerful flash of power. Elementalize. Armament Hockey. Freezing time. Aokiji who transforms into ice and prepares to freeze his Venom. He was directly beaten violently by a greater force. Boom. Hundreds of meters away, the ice reunited and became Aokiji. However, he looked a little embarrassed. Marine's coat already had burn marks. There were wounds on the backs of hands and waists. Although the wound was not big, blood flowed out. He is a Marine Admiral. Marine Admiral is injured. If this were a normal task, it would be almost impossible. Nico Robin's worldview was greatly shocked. After all, Boss Venom can fight the Marine Admiral back and forth. In the subsequent attack, he successfully injured the opponent. Aokiji's abilities are not comparable to Crocodile's. But before Venom showed up, Robin didn't see Crocodile being hurt due to the battle, let alone the Marine Admiral himself. Results now. Venom has taken over the field. Wounded Aokiji. At the same time, Nico Robin also felt that Venom was not serious at all. He was teaching all the way. How come Aokiji was injured in one fell swoop? Is Venom really that powerful? And he's so kind to himself. I am with the right person. Boss Venom is awesome. ... Hundreds of meters away, Aokiji's face was extremely cold. He reached out and looked at the wound on his arm. The blood coming out was so dazzling. Aokiji never expected that he was just arresting a newcomer from East Blue, and that he would actually leave scars on him. Frozen Fruit's abilities are used to perfection by Aokiji. Of course, elementalization is also included. His freezing speed is extremely fast. But under such circumstances, he was still hurt by the pyroblast. This guy is beyond imagination. His strength has reached at least the admiral level. Moreover, the reason why he asked the palace maid to report urgently that the Venom was heading towards Rapeseed Flower Town was because he deliberately issued a declaration of war. Perhaps he has been looking forward to this war for a long time. Is this something a newcomer can do? Impossible. Venom is more of a wily one. It can be said that in the entire Grand Line, before the newcomers have grown enough to establish a firm foothold in the New World, they have no choice but to run for their lives when they see the Marine Admiral. No one dares to challenge the Admiral of Headquarters. And Venom is different from the others. He had just entered the Grand Line, and the crew he invited were just two ordinary thieves. But, having only just reached Alabasta, he and his crew were already at the point where they could face the Marine Admiral without fear. At the same time, he is willing to protect Nico Robin, a hot potato. What is his purpose? Doesn't he know that Nico Robin is a big problem? Is this because he has already prepared for a showdown with Marine? Aokiji stared at Venom closely. His eyes were solemn as never before. This man is so mysterious. Mysterious abilities. Mysterious identity. Mysterious strength. It seems that I have far underestimated the other party. Aokiji is not alone. It was all the high-level officials at Naval Headquarters who underestimated Venom's ability. Otherwise, he wouldn't have just sent himself to Alabasta alone. Even attempted to send him into Impel Down. Not only is Venom sure to escape, but Nico Robin, the son of the devil, is also about to join in. This is adding evil to evil. Things are in trouble. Aokiji complained a few words and immediately used shave. The beep was almost at ultimate. Even the air was somewhat unable to withstand such terrifying speed. Whoosh whoosh, advancing at great speed. Aokiji's time capsule, ice ball, and two-thorn spear moves appear frequently. Rapid laser shot towards Venom. Venom deadpanned. He didn't feel the slightest sense of accomplishment from injuring Marine Admiral before. He wanted to tell the other party that not only could he attack Shichibukai, but even Marine Admiral, there was no room for negotiation. It's better to stop messing with yourself in the future. Waves of energy suppressed it. A mixture of fire and ice. The sound of explosions sounded continuously. The explosion rippled across the entire desert. When I heard Nami and others in the distance, my heart exploded. Tempest kick. Flame sword. Neither side held back. Ice fragments and flaming yellow sand transformed into various shapes, constantly impacting. The fighting power completely exploded. Dang, dang, dang. Boom boom boom. Aokiji's hair stood up, and Observation Hockey felt that the opponent's power seemed to become stronger. I don't know if this is an illusion. Aokiji always feels that the other party is hiding his strength. Not to mention anything else, the opponent's devil fruit possesses so much power that it is all-pervasive and impossible to defend against. He only has the ability to freeze, but it cancels out his fire. And there is also the yellow sand brought by sand fruit. This desert is more like his territory and can be called at will. If you adjust it at will, it is no less powerful than freezing. No matter what the cost, we must take him down. Otherwise, if you stay, sooner or later you will become a super being that even Marine will be afraid of. Aokiji's eyes gradually became firm. He knows that Venom has too many secrets, and as time goes by, his growth rate will surprise everyone. The best way is to get him now. He was even executed on the spot. To avoid future troubles, Venom didn't hold back and rushed directly in front of Aokiji. In the coming time, use Baihua's ability immediately. Not only does he have a lot of extra arms to use as weapons, even Aokiji has arms growing out of him. As soon as Venom clenched his fist, all the attacks came down at once. The fighting lasted from 9 o'clock in the morning until the afternoon. Gully lines lie in the desert. The atmosphere was torn apart, and every crater indicated the intensity of the battle. In the center of the battlefield, the high-intensity battle kept Aokiji panting. Although the strong men in this world are all monsters, but the real monster physique still depends on Venom. He is as energetic as a normal person now. Aokiji did not sweat under the influence of the cold air. However, the physical fatigue has already spread. With the fruit's ability, neither side can keep the other side, but if they continue to fight, the consumption will be huge. But in such a fierce battle, Venom is actually full of physical strength. Could it be? Aokiji suddenly felt something bad. Battles between strong men often depend on who runs out of energy first. The Venom is very active in Aokiji's eyes. His fighting style is very violent, he doesn't hold back at all, and he uses moves frequently, as if he doesn't need physical strength. On the other hand, I have been considering the issue of consumption. On the one hand, his own freezing ability prevents him from causing fatal damage to the opponent. On the other hand, Aokiji is afraid that the opponent has a bigger killer move. It is clear, the balance of winning percentage has tilted. Aokiji is not an ordinary person. He has very accurate judgment on the battlefield. Now he can see that if he continues to fight, he will be passive. Facing this circumstances, I want to win, or just wait for support. But this is the first half of the Grand Line, not the naval headquarters. It is almost impossible to get strong support, or just wait for the other party to reveal their flaws. But is that possible? Impossible. Now Aokiji's physical strength has been exhausted a lot, and his combat effectiveness has dropped significantly. It's time to decide the winner, Venom whispered. The armor on his body began to liquefy. Gradually, the whole body is covered with swinging weapons, including spikes and sharp knives. This is the inspiration Venom found among the ghouls. The black liquid is the venom itself, and it can be transformed into any weapon to attack. He will now use non-stop attacks to completely make Aokiji lose his fighting power. Venom's momentum is rising steadily. Aokiji is locked onto Aokiji. Aokiji clearly felt that the other party had lost patience. Even the air became hot and dry. Facing the oncoming heat wave, Aokiji looked solemn and immediately mobilized his peak strength to face the upcoming offensive. In an instant, the entire desert was once again filled with yellow sand. The venom takes the form of a predator and hides in it. In Aokiji's lock, only the afterimage of Venom can be seen. The next second, countless giant hands buried in the desert stretched out from the ground. These giant hands were immediately covered with flames, as if they had emerged from hell. The whole earth cracked open, exploded in all directions. Boom, boom, boom. The huge visual impact made countless people tremble. At this moment, the Venom is waiting for an opportunity. Appear behind Aokiji. Aokiji felt a chill running down his spine. The Venom's fierce offensive was like grains of sand in the desert, penetrating into every hole and falling on Aokiji's location. Ice Age. Facing the crisis, Aokiji released the cold air from his whole body and swept it away in an instant. The cold cannot freeze the fire in the desert. If it were the sea, it might be Aokiji's home ground. But in the desert, there is no way to get an advantage from those with sand fruit abilities. Of course, except Crocodile, the person with the sand fruit ability. Finally, after 3 minutes of saturation attack, an icy blue figure flew out quickly, thinking about the outside world. The ice blue figure flew out backwards. Under the traction of huge speed, the shock wave brought up caused the ground to split into 2 huge ravines. And the original location of Aokiji. All have been destroyed. The ground has been scorched by the high temperature, forming countless glass crystals. Sunshine, fall. The entire desert is shiny, as if it is covered with broken glass of various colors. Is it over yet? Nami also understood the situation at the scene by looking from a distance. Her mood suddenly relaxed. If Boss Venom hadn't been considerate, Karina and Vivi would definitely have been affected. In such a powerful battle, the current Nami cannot participate even if she wants to. They are still too weak now. It's all covered by Boss Venom. The reason why Nami relaxes is entirely due to the careful sun that stays in place. By communicating with the Mara fruit in his body and using the coordinates of the venom planted in his body, Nami can know the status of the venom. Therefore, it must be some Marine Admiral who was sent flying backwards by the attack. Boss Venom will definitely win, Vivi said firmly. Nami smiled and said, of course, our boss is fine. The one who flew out was Marine Admiral. Really? That's great. Very good. Boss Venom is so powerful. 3 girls hugging each other. They are all waiting for Venom Guy to return. Everyone in Alabasta Royal City. I also witnessed this scene with my own eyes. They had only experienced such a powerful energy fluctuation once in their lives. This is far more dangerous than those thermal weapons such as artillery. If we really want to say it, only Naval Headquarters Buster Call can compare. It is said that it is a powerful weapon that can level the entire island. Isn't it similar now? Alabasta is a kingdom whose territory is hundreds of times larger than the average island. Islands like Alabasta are very rare in the Grand Line. But even so, the huge desert in front of us had been completely destroyed by the battle. That area, it is much larger than ordinary islands. And what people care about is warring parties. One is Alabasta's hero Venom. The other one is the highest combat power of Naval Headquarters. Who won? Cobra frowned and stood at the highest point of the royal city, looking into the distance. The distance is very far, and the difference is due to the battle scenes like natural disasters. And those sounds came one after another. The noise is over now. Cobra didn't know the details of the battle scene at all. Facing the king's inquiry, all the ministers didn't know how to answer. At this time, a human-sized bird landed on the open space in front of Cobra and others. Bell, Zone, a person with the bird fruit falcon type ability, is a peregrine falcon. He is the adjutant of the Alabasta Guards. In the original work, facing the time bomb arranged by Crocodile, he finally used the bird fruit form to pull the giant bomb into the air and explode. Falcons are the fastest flying animals in the sky. Bell took advantage of his ability to fly, and Cobra once asked him to go explore the battlefield. Now he's back. Report, King Cobra. I saw Master Venom knocking Marine Admiral away, causing a shocking explosion, and Aokiji disappeared. The winner was Master Venom. He is intact. Furthermore, I discovered that there was another flying person in the sky. After the big explosion, he escaped at an extremely fast speed. I guess he is from the World News Agency. When Bell finished speaking, the entire palace was shocked. Everyone looked at Bell in horror. Because at this moment, after Bell turned into a human form, the clothes on his body were completely torn, and no piece of skin on his body was intact. There were scars and bloodline everywhere. It is conceivable that he suffered a lot of damage just because of the impact. The scene was too terrifying. Many members of the royal guards collapsed on the ground in fear. You can't blame them for not having courage. But the reality is too scary. Kill Shichibukai Crocodile if you want. Marine Admiral says we'll fight. The venom itself is still intact. With Bell appearing covered in wounds, the result of the battle between Venom and Aokiji was basically a stone hammer. Marine Admiral has been defeated. Even Bell, who was far away in the sky and was not a participant in the battle, was affected by the battle and became like this. How intense would the battle scene be? Even if we see such a result in front of our eyes, we still can't believe it. At the same time, desert battle scene. As the smoke completely dissipated, Venom scanned it with observation hockey. Aokiji was not seen. He probably used the ice to escape. Logia demon fruit power. Unless the strength is far superior to the opponent, it is really difficult to kill. It seems that it is better to gain fusion with other female companions as soon as possible to stimulate all the rewards. After wandering around for a while, Venom didn't find Aokiji, so he set off to find Nami and the others. After the Venom completely disappears, an Esper in bird form appeared at the scene of the battle. He grabbed a marine justice cloak from the ground and flew into the distance. This person is one of the core members of the news agency. Like the President Morgans, he is also a person with the ability of the bird fruit. He has been collecting big news on the Grand Line and delivering it to the World News Agency headquarters. with a burst of brew-brew noise. His voice also sounded in the distant sky. Quack, quack, President Morgan's, big news. Big news. The 7 warlords of the sea crocodile have been found out and are confirmed dead, and Marine Admiral Aokiji also failed and escaped from Alabasta. They are all losing to Venom. A message is passed on. The whole sea is about to shake. ... Behind a broken wall in the desert, Aokiji's ice spreads across the wall. At this moment, he leaned against the wall and let out a cold breath. He did not have the Marine Admiral's attire, and the cloak of justice disappeared during the battle. He looked a little embarrassed, and there was even a streak of blood at the corner of his mouth. Although he has preserved his strength, he still looks like a god of war when he goes out now. But if you continue to struggle with Venom, you can foresee that you will definitely lose in the follow-up. Therefore, when Venom went berserk and attacked, Aokiji simply took advantage of the explosion and escaped decisively. Aokiji stood up and dusted himself off. I haven't been this embarrassed for a long time. Venom, an incredible monster, appeared on the sea. I don't know what Marshal Sengoku's expression was when he heard the news. Aokiji held a phone bug thoughtfully. Marineford, Naval Headquarters. The highest meeting room. Marine Marshal Sengoku, Marine Hero Garp, Crane Vice Admiral, as well as Akainu and Kizaru. 5 of Marine's real top executives gathered in the conference room. The extremely solemn atmosphere put a gloomy look on everyone's faces. Here they have been gathering for an hour. Sengoku had a phone call with Aokiji before and learned about Alabasta's situation. Not only did Venom escape, but he did so openly after defeating Aokiji. Even Garp, who has always been unreliable, didn't say a word at this time. They still can't believe that Aokiji will fail. As a Marine Admiral, Aokiji is outstanding among all Marines. Of course, Aokiji's failure did not come at a high cost, nor did he have to lie in bed for months like Smoker. But, according to Aokiji, if we continue to fight to the point of death, the person who died must be himself. Therefore, Naval Headquarters has unprecedented pressure on Venom. Is a newcomer from East Blue who has just entered the Grand Line already a Marine Admiral? What to do? Sengoku muttered. He completely believed what Aokiji said and had no idea how to evaluate Venom. Is it necessary to raise his bounty to the level of 20 Baileys? Although an important reference factor for a pirate's bounty is the threat level of the other party on the sea. But if you really use pure combat power to plan the bounty, every Marine Admiral is priced at 2 billion belly and up. If Venom can defeat Aokiji, is 2 billion a little less? Sengoku has a headache. He nodded, and then added, although we don't know what happened to Venom, according to Aokiji's intelligence, he has multiple fruit abilities, which is enough for us to pay attention to. I checked all the information, and there is no record of the multi-fruit ability. This strong man seems to have popped out of thin air. Moreover, he is not afraid of the consequences of messing with our Marine. The threat has reached level 10. Crane Vice Admiral carefully examined it and spoke out the threat of Venom. Quote. The conference room fell into silence once again. Even Sengoku found this matter extremely difficult. Can't even decide on a bounty. As soon as the opponent is really strong, the bounty is high, and he immediately becomes a big force. Who dares to provoke him in the sea? Secondly, if the bounty is low, it is meaningless. If the news of Marine Admiral's defeat were to be reported, the whole Marine's face would be damaged. When you think about Venom's growth rate, it won't be long before he becomes completely famous on the sea. Everyone present took a deep breath. Aokiji's strength is clear. Everyone present was not sure of victory. Seeing that Sengoku was still hesitating, Garp picked his nose and said, Sengoku, what do you think we should do? As soon as Garp finished speaking, Akainu stood up from his seat with a gloomy face, and the hot magma was about to move. What can I do? You can't alert him by raising the bounty. I will go and punish him personally. Akainu, everyone understands what you mean. Use Marine's highest combat power to quietly eliminate Venom. However, even Aokiji can't do anything now. How can you possibly take him down by yourself? Sengoku's face was gloomy and his tone was a little stiff. Based on past performance, Akainu has a strong character and often has the advantage in battles. In other words, he may be a little stronger than Aokiji, but he is still very weak. Moreover, Aokiji has made it clear. He and Venom were fighting, and if one side really wanted to escape, there was no way the other side could stop him. Aokiji's failure was based on the endless speculation on both sides. Such a sea madman will only die. Whether it was his crime of killing the 7 warlords of the sea or the threat he posed to Marine, he should not be active on the sea. Lava rose from Akainu's arm, and thick smoke billowed. It was obvious that he had suppressed his anger. Sengoku frowned and was silent for a moment. If one admiral can't solve it, use 2. The threat of the Venom pirates is too great, and they may become the top powerhouse on the sea in the future. Just like Whitebeard Newgate, the current Marine is helpless against it. However, there are already 4 kings in the sea. If one more of them appeared out of thin air, the entire sea would be in chaos. The new world has escaped Marine's control. If Venom is added, the sea will boil completely. There is no need for us to report Aokiji's matter. I can't hide the fact that Venom killed Shichibukai even if I wanted to, so I raised his bounty to 500 million Baileys. At the same time, Akainu, you and Kizaru have been working together recently to find the whereabouts of the Venom pirates. It's best to take him down together. When the 2 Marine admirals attack together, no one in this world can withstand it. Even if the world's strongest man, Whitebeard, comes in person, it won't work. This time, Sengoku had already killed Venom. To deal with someone who was trusted by East Blue, he directly sent out 2 admirals. Such a thing was unprecedented. If you tell him, Marine will be embarrassed. But there is no way. If the hidden danger of Venom is not nipped in the bud. Sengoku had a premonition. It will become Marine's nightmare in the future. Kizaru trimmed his nails with a nail clipper. As he pressed the nail clipper, the nail fragments flew away from his fingers, and the next moment they turned into dots of light. Yo yo yo. What a scary newcomer, then let me meet him. Quote. HMPH. I alone am enough. Seeing that Sengoku had given an order that he was satisfied with, Akainu also put away the lava on his arm, but his eyes suddenly turned cold. An island somewhere in the New World. Home of the World News Agency headquarters. Countless printing machines are already working like crazy. This time, Morgan's is making big news. This news must be even more sensational than the Golden Lion jailbreak. Because, this time the news agency not only captured a lot of footage of Venom and Aokiji fighting. He also took possession of a very important physical object. A damaged Marine Admiral's cloak of justice. Plus the story behind it. Death of Shichibukai crocodile. Aokiji Admiral failed and escaped. Both sources point to an East Blue Star, Don Quixote's nemesis Venom. Such news is enough to detonate the world. Newsbirds were dispatched, and newspapers with the headlines, Face Venom Provocation, Death of Shichibukai, Defeat of Marine Admiral, began to be transmitted to the entire route. Inside the news agency, Morgans was sipping his coffee with satisfaction and his expression was extremely comfortable. The last news about Venom, his newspaper made the entire news agency 500 million belly. This time it will be much more explosive. How much will it be? Suddenly, Morgans became extremely excited. I couldn't help but burst into laughter. As the news bird flies toward the Grand Line, countless newspapers and reward orders were dropped from the sky. Fell into the hands of the customer. At this time, Koko West Village, when stationed policeman Aegean went to see in Nami, he subscribed to the news of the world for the first time. In fact, he really wanted to know about Nami. But he wasn't expecting to hear from Nami up there. At this moment, Jian's hands were trembling a little as he was surrounded by the villagers. Oh my god, Nami, her bounty exceeds 100 million belly. What a big deal this is. Moreover, on the Grand Line, Mr. Venom killed Shichibukai and defeated Marine Admiral. The bounty reached 600 million belly. Marine Admiral, my god. Oh my god, what the hell is going on? I can't accept it, I can't accept it, I can't accept it. Jian read the news repeatedly, and the surrounding villagers were frightened by him. Is there a bounty on Nami? The bounty has been increased again. Does this mean Nami is very powerful? Amazing, amazing. You idiots know how powerful you are. Don't you know this is a sign of danger? Marine must have made a mistake. Nami is a good kid. Nuo Chigao listened quietly on the side, calm on the surface, but exploding inside. The message is very clear. Venom, the captain of the Venom pirates, has a bounty of 600 million Baileys. Nami, the crew member of the Venom pirates, the Flame Fairy, with a bounty of 110 million Baileys. Nico Robin, a member of the Venom pirates, the son of the devil, with a bounty of 130 million Baileys. Karina, a crew member of the Venom pirates, has a bounty of 20 million Baileys. Does Nami have a new partner? Is the Flame Witch the title of Nami? It seems very suitable. She just has the power to release fire. The Venom pirates' bounty is 860 million Baileys for all members. There will definitely be many bounty hunters swarming towards them. Such a high bounty is definitely a huge temptation. Especially since the Venom pirates have just entered the Grand Line. Different from those pirates who have been famous for a long time. They have an unstable foundation. Even if the bounty is high, some people are willing to take risks and gamble their luck. At the same time, just like the people in Kokoja village, people who have never truly experienced the power of Venom do not believe in the authenticity of the Venom pirates. Marine issued this bounty just to cause trouble for the Venom pirates. The first half of the Grand Line. Ace finally found a boat he could see past. He decisively grabbed it and invited 2 crew members to form the Spade Pirates. They had just made it through Upside Down Mountain and onto the Grand Line. While he was still basking in the sun on the boat, he saw news about the Venom pirates in the newspaper. What a powerful Venom. Is this the girl from Mara Fruit? Flame Fairy. Marine is pretty good at naming. Marine Admiral lost. Fortunately, I was smart and chose to jump into the sea. Otherwise, he might have killed me. Are all Mara Fruits so powerful? Captain Ace, do you know this pirate group? A crew member asked. Ace waved his hand and laughed. We have fought before, but failed. Immediately, the crew members were all surprised. Captain Ace is so powerful, he can actually survive in the hands of Venom. Even the opponent, Admiral, lost. Ace, brother of Spade Pirates. I don't want to lose either. The first half of the Grand Line. Thriller Bark. Moria, who has a round body, looks a little frightened and reveals her fangs when she sees the news. Forget it, I can't afford to offend this person. Aokiji, I have seen that cold man before. He was defeated by the Venom. Chris, close the door, I'm going to make zombies behind closed doors during this time. New World. Don Quixote family. In front of a group of officials, Doflamingo looked at Venom's report with a gloomy expression, and then started laughing wildly. Bah, are you making such a big noise? It seems that Venom is no longer my enemy. His Mara fruit was given as a gift from us. Facing the Mara fruit that had been robbed before, Doflamingo said to Venom, see, the thieves hated him to the core. But when he saw Marine Admiral Aokiji, who was reported to have been defeated by Venom, Doflamingo decisively gave up revenge and instead looked for opportunities to cooperate with Venom. Faced with such a high combat power of Venom, if Doflamingo can't understand the situation anymore, he will no longer be the Joker of the Underground Kingdom. What a pity, Crocodile, you shouldn't have agreed to trade with me so readily. Sand Crocodile, your death is not unjust. You still suffered the disadvantage of being in the first half of the Grand Line. Bah. New World. The 4 emperors are relatively calm about this news. Even Marine Admiral is just a formidable opponent in their eyes. Wano-kuni. Ghost Island. Kaido Beast's Pirates territory. Ororororo. Kaido poured a gourd of wine into his mouth and laughed. Did you defeat Marine Admiral? That boy can do it. Doesn't he want to be the Pirate King? Come to Wano-kuni and kill him. Maybe I will make him quit. Get addicted. Kingdom of Todo Land. The territory of the Charlotte Linlin pirates. Well. Charlotte Linlin lay on her side on a giant round bed. She patted the soft bed. He said with expectation on his face. Venom, this strange creature makes me so curious and eager. Well. New World. Some small island. A gathering place for red hair pirates. Oops, isn't it Luffy again? Shanks sighed. Mihawk, let's have a sword duel. Hawkeye looked at the report and said calmly, I'm not interested in one-armed people. Faced with Hawkeye's rejection, the red-haired Shanks drank the bitter wine in his throat and his heart ached. Ha, okay then. It's a tie this time. Ha ha ha. New World, the territory of the Whitebeard pirates. The big bird, which had been burning with blue flames, fell from the sky. The next second, he turned into a man with a pineapple head. Marco the Phoenix, the captain of the first division of the Whitebeard pirates, is a famous strongman in the New World. Dad. Marco landed on the deck of the Moby Dick and shouted to a giant with a tube inserted into his body. Someone who could be Marco's daddy. There is no doubt about the identity. He is Whitebeard, the strongest man in the sea. Edward Newgate. Eula la la la. What's the matter, my dearest son? No matter where you lie. There was also a bucket-sized drip of medicine hanging on his body. But Whitebeard's majesty is still hard to look at. Marco came to Whitebeard and picked up the newspaper in his hand. Dad, this time a remarkable figure appeared on the sea, and he defeated the Marine Admiral. Oh, I wonder if he can be my son. Huh, Venom, I've never heard of it. Whitebeard smiled heartily. Grr. Marco added, he's the guy who caused trouble in Logue Town last time. It turns out it's him. See Whitebeard and remember. Marco's eyes fell on the newspaper and began to read. And Whitebeard Newgate muttered on the side, has the bounty reached 600 million Baileys? Killed crocodile in Alabasta. Crocodile, that kid playing in the sand. The one whose arm I cut off. I didn't expect that even if I spared his life, he would still be so worthless. Gu la 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 la. Yes, Dad, he not only killed Crocodile, but also defeated Marine Admiral Aokiji. Look, Dad. With that, Marco raised the newspaper in his hand. Whitebeard glanced briefly and saw the front page of the newspaper. There is a picture of the Admiral of Headquarters' Cloak of Justice. This Cloak of Justice is extremely damaged. Burnt holes, lines covered with fine sand, and brown Madara spots left by dried blood. You can tell at a glance that it has been destroyed by Sengoku. Dirty means that its owner is very embarrassed. And this Marine Justice Cloak has been moved from the battlefield, placed in a room, and framed. One look and it is clear that the news agency obtained this Cloak of Justice from some source. In the face of facts, Whitebeard will not doubt, and he is too lazy to doubt. Anyway, in Whitebeard's eyes, what about Marine Admiral? In front of Whitebeard, he is not a young boy. He is the most powerful Junjun in the sea. But there is no doubt about it. News of Venom has reached all corners of the world. Venom first killed Crocodile, then defeated the Marine Admiral. This new kid is still amazing. Goo la 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 la. Look at this news report. Lousy, I want to expand my team. Goo la 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 la. ... The strong men on the sea were all reading newspapers as if they were watching a show. Only the top brass at naval headquarters are different. They were furious. Seeing Aokiji's Marine Justice Cloak, as if it was on display, Sengoku was instantly furious. What's the situation, Morgans? Don't the news of the world want to live anymore? This kind of news is simply slandering Marine. Is this also going to be reported? Where are Akainu and Kizaru, Venom? Sengoku's irritable voice kept coming from the office. It is different from the madness on the sea. The Venom pirates just finished shopping in the port city of Rapeseed. After all, if you want to go to the New World, you still need to be prepared. After saying goodbye to Vivi, a huge and luxurious sailing ship appeared on the sea far away from Alabasta. Exactly, the Neferutari. When he first met Vivi, Venom wanted to use it to get rid of Crocodile and help Alabasta restore peace, and take the opportunity to take advantage of her. Unexpectedly, he not only got the royal family's luxurious sailboat, he can also pry Vivi, the Alabasta princess, onto the ship. Although now Vivi is not sailing along. But Vivi has said that when Alabasta recovers, she will sail with everyone. To this, Venom didn't force it. In fact, he also wanted to find a stronghold. The sea also has its own forces. A powerful pirate group is not limited to members on a pirate ship. For example, Whitebeard's territory and Charlotte Linland's kingdom are actually pirate strongholds. This stronghold is very important. It is a question about the strength of a pirate group, or to be more precise, to establish itself as king. There is no doubt that Alabasta is a great place. Although this place is relatively barren, the island is really big and has enough strategic depth. But the top priority, Venom still believes, is to cultivate the pirate group first. Become stronger first before you can do the following things. So, after making some simple supplements, the Venom pirates will head to the New World as quickly as possible. In Torrance Town, also known as Sleep Town, let Robin decipher the words in the ruins and find zone, bat fruit, phantom beast species, and vampire form. Based on Venom's own guess. If you can incorporate the ability of vampire form into your own ship, then he can also use vampire form alone. In other words, he is likely to exist as a separate individual and does not need to be a parasite on the crew to exert his combat power. Even though he is a vampire. A little bit closer to being human. But at least he looks like a human being. Better than a ball of slime. On the sea breeze is gentle, the sun is warm, and it is wonderful. Only the Nefertari is sailing. Sailing on the sea is a very wonderful thing. Nami and Karina were jumping back and forth on the Nefertari. They had never seen such a luxurious sailing ship. Every time I see it, there is a new feeling. This configuration no longer looks like a pirate ship, but like a moving castle for a noble family. The Nefertari is amazing. What a big room, what a big swimming pool, what a big kitchen. Wow, Nami, this hall is like a palace. Really, let me take a look. The walls are also inlaid with colorful Madara gems. After watching it for a full hour, neither Nami nor Karina felt it was enough. They came to Venom. At this time, the Venom is really parasitic on Nico Robin, lazily basking in the sun. Seeing Nami and Karina arriving, he said, "This is the boat used by the little princess Vivi to get married. We must protect it, otherwise Vivi will not be able to get married." Nami was a little reluctant. "Yeah, boss. It's such a pity that Vivi didn't come. I like her very much." "Me too, I like her very much." Karina immediately agreed. Nico Robin smiled and said nothing, but she already recognized everyone on the boat in her heart. Of course, that includes Vivi who hasn't boarded the ship yet. It will come. Now we are going to New World to find the devil fruit, and then come back to pick her up. Venom laughed. After Crocodile's forces were eliminated, I believe it won't be long before Alabasta will return to normal. At the same time, after Venom has processed the bat fruit, he is also preparing to return to Alabasta. If there are any hidden dangers in this kingdom by then, he will solve them all. For Alabasta, Venom has little emotion though. But he felt it was appropriate to help his crew. And he came back for another purpose. Although One Piece ultimately depends on the second half of New World, there is still a lot to enjoy in the first half. Just like Sky Island, there is a lot of gold lying quietly on it. The strength of a pirate group lies not only in its personnel configuration. It also depends on power, money. Venom is not a fool, and it would be a waste of resources to leave great resources untouched. Boss, that's great. Nami jumped up excitedly when she heard that Venom would come back. It's such a big swimming pool. Boss, can we prepare a pool party? He. Nami suggested. Karina was a little excited. Yeah, I agree. Although, there were 3 women and 1 man on board. However, everyone present knew that the Venom had a parasitic relationship with them. Although it hasn't reached the final step yet. But there is no gender secret between everyone. It's not so much the relationship between the captain and the crew. Might as well be more like a family. So, even if Venom is present, there is no barrier between Nami and others. No, as Nami proposed, the atmosphere on the field suddenly became lively. Karina looked at Venom expectantly, just waiting for an order from the captain. Nico Robin smiled, turned to Venom on his shoulder, and said charmingly, "Boss, when I was shopping at Rapeseed Flowers, I bought a very hot swimsuit." Hearing Robin's amused words, Venom immediately became energetic. "Those who understand me, sister, you too. I just didn't expect that someone would react more than him." Robin is so despicable. Nami suddenly felt numb. What happened to Robin? She is no longer a good sister. How could she buy clothes by herself to please her boss? Why didn't she remind me? I also want a swimsuit. Karina looked a little crestfallen and said repeatedly, "Vivi has already said that there is a swimming pool on the ship. I was so stupid. I bought all the clothes and jackets, but I didn't buy a swimsuit. Woohoo, what a loss." "Me too, I never thought it could be like this." He. 100 flowers, 100 flowers. Robin smiled and used his devil fruit ability to move on Nami and Karina. Boom. Bobo. Full of flexibility, Robin took back his power and used his hands to compare the size. Hey, it's about the same size as I expected. In fact, I've prepared it for you too. I hope my two sisters like it. As he spoke, rows of arms extended from the room. What I am holding in my hand is a pile of clothes that are unique and very interesting. After receiving the clothes given to me by Robin. Nami, from today on, Robin is my best sister. Karina, from the day I met Robin, Robin has been my good sister. Robin is much older than Nami. The understanding of things is not on the same level. Although Robin has never done anything outrageous. But have you never eaten pork, or seen a pig running? Especially Robin's 100 Flowers ability, which allows him to grow eyes and ears, making him a perfect intelligence agent. He had seen interesting things many times in previous assassination missions. The experience of the eyes is there. Compared to the two little sisters who were not deeply involved. She really needs to know a lot. Venom was also speechless. Do all the crew members he recruited have such unpredictable personalities? It was shameless to say such words in front of him. It looks like Nami likes the swimsuit she bought. Robin is very satisfied. She is not a cold person. It was just that no one could make her care before. Nico. Robin smiled and said, "How's it going? Do you like what I bought?" Of course, Robin, you have really good taste. This, and this are all the styles I like. Nami couldn't put it down and kept looking at it, even making several gestures on it. It looks like the color matches my skin tone. Karina wondered, I've never worn clothes like this before. Why did the manufacturer save so much fabric? In order to be able to swim well, of course the key parts should be covered just right. Robin chuckled. The next second she looked at Venom meaningfully. Boss, I picked for a long time and finally found the one with the least amount of fabric. Aha, Venom gave a thumbs up openly, good job. Continue next time. After a while, Nami and others finished changing their clothes. Gulu, Venom swallowed. I feel like I became the emperor today. I have to say that when a few crew members like me stopped by the pool, it was no less than a top Victoria's Secret show. It's really awesome. Despite their young age, Nami and Karina had already changed drastically when they first met Venom. It may be caused by Venom parasitism. As a result, Nami and others were stimulated by male hormones all the time, and both of them stood tall and graceful. Not to mention Robin. She was originally a royal sister. She has a good grasp on temperament. No matter how you look at it, I'm very satisfied. Not long after, Robin took out some newspapers. Karina also brought out fruits, desserts, hot spring steamed buns from the kitchen. Nami jumped into the swimming pool with a puff. As for Venom, it is still parasitic with Robin. Although he can survive independently from his parasitic host now, it would be much easier to move around while parasitizing a person. In addition, Venom also needs to develop fusion with all crew members. So he is like a JoJo stand-in, usually parasitic on Robin. Now, under blue sea and blue sky, the Neferutari continues sailing. The breeze blew through Robin's long hair, and the ends of the hair felt itchy on Venom's head. The pool party has officially begun. Boss, should we go directly to New World? Nami said after eating an iced grape in the pool. If Venom gave the order, Nami would concentrate on planning the route. Of course, we will encounter several islands on the way. There is no need to waste time on the islands. We just need to replenish supplies and store the magnetism. After that, Venom gave a rough explanation of the route. Their pirate group is still in the first half of the Grand Line, and the journey is still relatively far away. And the route they chose also passed through several important islands. Finally, you will reach the final island in the first half of the journey, Sabayati Island. There, their sailboat needs to be coated, and then they pass through the Fishmen Island and then to New World. Because I plan to go to Sleep Ancient Town in New World to look for bat fruit. Venom had no intention of wasting his time elsewhere. Overall, what he wants is to arrive as soon as possible. Hearing that Venom had already planned the route, Nami nodded. I think the boss is the backbone. Everything is arranged. Sailing is like a vacation. Moreover, now we have such a great sailing ship as the Neferutari. This feeling is more obvious. Don't panic if you follow the boss. The boss has already planned everything. We just need to follow it. Hee, the boss is the best. Karina nodded, took a hot spring steamed bun and ate it. Hot spring steamed buns are a specialty of Alabasta, and they have a lot of them on board. Boss, let me ask you why you were in a hurry to go to New World. In the swimming pool, Robin was lying on her side on an inflatable duck. Wrapped in a small amount of fabric, her good figure was clearly visible, and her expression was very comfortable. Everyone is basking in the sun, just like a king taking his concubine on vacation at the sea. Yes, boss, there are many famous places on this road, such as the Water City, Sabayati Island. Karina's tone contained a hint of pity. According to Venom, the pirate group needs to rush for time and cannot stay longer on the island. Then everyone can't play. So anxious to go to New World, actually it's about your devil fruit. Venom is heard saying devil fruit. Karina's expression immediately became expectant. Venom continued, in the ancient town of Sleep in the New World, there is a devil fruit of the phantom beast species stored. Our goal this time is to get it, and the sooner the better. What? The devil fruit of the phantom beast? Karina and Nami are both a little confused. They don't know the classification of devil fruit yet. Venom didn't dwell on it. Robin, explain this to your two sisters. Meeting Nami and Karina was full of curiosity. Yeah, Robin nodded and began to show off his knowledge. Devil fruit is regarded as a secret treasure in the sea, worth at least 100 million belly. They are the incarnation of the sea devil, and you can gain different abilities after eating them. Quote. And devil fruit is roughly divided into 3 categories. One is the Logia devil fruit like Nami and Vivi. The biggest feature is that it can mobilize natural energy and use elements to avoid damage. The other one is Paramesha devil fruit like my flower fruit. Paramesha's devil fruit can control specific substances, cause special changes in the body, and invalidate certain physical attacks, etc. The other one is Zone. Devil fruit Zone allows people to transform into different animals according to different fruits, giving them powerful abilities. Among them, Zone has the most special series. Fantasy Beast Fruit. Phantom beasts mean legendary beasts or gods. Under Robin's explanation, Nami and Karina finally understand the basics of devil fruit. Looking at Venom, Nami nodded, so, it turns out the boss wants Zone's devil fruit. Karina's face showed a hint of surprise. Nami, are you talking about the Renren fruit? Maybe the boss will become a human after eating the Renren fruit, right? Of course, Nami replied affirmatively. When we first met, the boss told me that maybe you can transform into a human by eating the Renren fruit. Robin, on the other hand, felt something in between. To know, the Zone devil fruit is the most top-notch Zone devil fruit. Phantasmal beasts transform into mythical or legendary animals or characters. Far rarer than Logia devil fruit. So, will this phantom beast be in human form? In the case of, then the boss can transform into a legendary god. Seeing this, Robin's interest was immediately piqued. She lowered her head and asked, Boss, do you know the name of that devil fruit? Unlike Nami and Karina, Robin's knowledge is much deeper. The question he asked immediately attracted Nami's attention. Karina also became curious. Venom smiled and said, its full name is, Zone Bat Fruit Phantom Beast Species Vampire Form. After hearing Venom's answer, Robin fell into deep thought. After a long time, she remembered that she had seen vampires in history books. I have seen records about vampires in historical materials. Vampires are fantasy creatures with supernatural powers that appear in human form. So, boss, you can transform into a human. Ah, human form. Boss, is this true? Nami and Karina spoke at the same time. This time the news brought by Venom was too shocking. Let Nami enter the surprise immediately. She thought about making Venom a real human. Although vampires are fantasy creatures, they are also humanoid. Robin really brought good news to the sisters. Seeing Nami and Karina so happy, Robin smiled and said, I don't know if this devil fruit will have such an effect. I haven't read any records about this fruit. Okay. Venom's voice was very calm. I have no choice, my crew members are all little girls and don't know much. Therefore, Venom used this question to help everyone popularize science. This is one of the reasons why I gave the sand fruit to Vivi. As long as Karina eats this devil fruit, I can also use this ability. Then I'll turn into a horrible vampire. Yes, it's a scary vampire. When Nami heard this, he immediately said, "Hee hee, boss is not scary." "Boss, suck me first." "I want the boss to suck it hard." "Suck you? What nonsense." Huh, Venom was also speechless. "Okay, I don't know much about this devil fruit. I only know that the vampire form can make the opponent age by sucking the blood of others, while keeping myself young forever." In One Piece 3DS Infinite World Red, Balearic Redfield transforms into a vampire, sucking blood to accelerate the aging of his opponents while rejuvenating himself. While depriving others of their vitality, they can also return it to others. As for whether people can return their lives to a third party, they need to obtain this ability and will only know through specific experiments. Hearing that vampire form can keep you young forever, Nami was stunned. Kurina was stunned. Robin was stunned. Eternal youth. Such a magical ability. No girl can resist. Especially Robin, she feels that she is a little bit older in this young group. And what she didn't know was, Venom didn't mind it at all, but found it unique. This ability, it seems like everyone wants it so much. Nami shook her head and calmed herself down. "Boss, you'd better stop sucking me. I don't want to get older after being sucked." "Venom, after being sucked, you will only become mature." "Ha ha ha. Boss, you are so kind to me." Kurina jumped directly into the water, making a splash. She swam to Venom's side, her eyes full of gratitude. "In this way, I am also a person with abilities. You can become a vampire like the boss." Nami reacted and said, not to be outdone, "It's not just you, don't you know the boss's ability? He can parasitize any one of us. When the time comes, as long as the boss exerts his strength, I can also become a vampire. You, me, Robin, all of us are vampires. Okay, a family of vampires. I don't want to be human anymore." "No, it's four, boss, don't forget Vivi." Nami finished speaking and thought for a moment. "By the way, if boss is so anxious, I have a way to get to New World faster." "Calm belt. Actually, it's not impossible." "Huh, it turns out the boss already knows." After arriving in the New World, Nami learned a lot about navigation. After learning that the Neferutari possessed Seastone technology and eagerly awaiting Venom's transformation into a human being, Nami suddenly had an idea. She envisioned using the calm belt to go to South Blue, starting from South Blue, and when approaching the Red Line, crossing the calm belt again to enter the Grand Line, thus saving the time of storing magnetism. However, I didn't expect that Venom had calculated it early. Sure enough, the boss is omnipotent. I thought my little cleverness would surprise the boss. Just like that, Nami didn't delay. She can't delay Venom's adulthood. After getting up from the pool, Nami immediately began to adjust the sails and rudder. The goal of the Venom pirates is New World's sleeping town. The sunrise and sunset on the sea are like white horses passing by. Grand Line, Gaia Island. A marine warship was parked far away on the sea. They had been staying here for half a month. On the deck, marine soldiers were practicing in an orderly manner. On the bow of the ship, a tall man wearing a marine justice cloak was standing, looking at the sea level with a serious expression. None other than Admiral of Headquarters, Akainu, Sakazuki. Next to him stood a tall, wretched man with nothing to do, Kizaru Porisalino. Aokiji also returns to the ship from Alabasta. On this warship, the three admirals with the highest combat power of marine are gathered at this moment. Placed anywhere on this sea, it can become the most terrifying combination of combat power in the world. "What happened?" Akainu asked his assistant dissatisfied. "You've been waiting for so long and yet you haven't seen the Venom pirates." Hearing Akainu's slightly angry inquiry, a non-commissioned officer trotted over. "Sakazuki Admiral, we calculated based on the route and distance that the Venom pirates will definitely pass through Gaia Island, but they haven't been seen yet. After analysis, there are only two reasons. First, they didn't reach this place because of an accident. Secondly, they had an excellent navigator who changed their route and probably crossed the calm belt." Facing the assistant's answer, Akainu felt a little dizzy. Logically speaking, Marine's information would not be wrong. And Sakazuki knows that if Venom can defeat Aokiji, he already has the strength of Admiral. Naturally, there will be no situation of being eliminated by other pirate forces. And based on the information from Marine along the way, the Venom pirates once sailed off the coast of Alabasta. Apparently he has left the island. So, if it were the Venom pirates, The rest can only be the second case. They change the course directly. Originally, Akainu planned to wait for the Venom pirates on Gaia Island. Come and catch a turtle in an urn. Unexpectedly, both admirals missed the target. This made Akainu a little unhappy. Yo, this is troublesome. I suggest you go back to Naval Headquarters first. I still have a mission in the Science Force. The sea is still too scary for me. Kizaru had brown eyes and wrinkled lines on his forehead. It can kill mosquitoes, he said casually. Seeing that there was no way to wait for the Venom pirates, Kizaru had lost patience. Moreover, there was no salary increase for this task. Now the plan to snipe the Venom pirates has come to nothing. The reward for catching Venom is gone too. What's the point of staying here by yourself? Even if you are on vacation, you have to find a good place. Aokiji wore an eye patch and lay lazily on the rocking chair, basking in the sun without speaking. His body has recovered now, but there are scars on his arms and neck from the battle with the Venom. Although they are small, they are still dazzling enough. Having said that, although Aokiji escaped during the battle with Venom, but under the publicity of the news agency, he was said to be a complete failure. This troubled him a little. First, I'm a Marine Admiral, but I am portrayed in such a bad light by the media. Even Aokiji, who doesn't care much about his image, still has some pride. However, he is still a Marine Admiral and can accurately assess his own combat effectiveness. He knew that the special creature called Venom was too weird and a little uncertain. Even if it were other admirals present, they would most likely get the same result as him in the battle with Venom. Win the battle. If you continue to fight, you will most likely fail. Of course, it would be a different story if two admirals attacked together. No one in the world can withstand the combined attack of two admirals alone. The Venom pirate's combat power is severely biased. Except for the Venom parasite, there are no other people on the ship to worry about. As long as two admirals are dispatched, Venom's high-end combat power will have no place to escape. Only, the situation is now clear. Venom had already used other methods to stay away from the Marine Admiral's encirclement and suppression. Does such a thing as luck really exist? Aokiji reached out and took off his blindfold, revealing one eye and muttering to himself. Also at this time, Kizaru's phone buzzed. After the call was connected, Kizaru's obscene voice sounded, "Moxie Moxie. Moxie Moxie." Sengoku's voice came from the phone. "Porosalino, has Kuzan arrived on your warship?" "Here he is, he's in good condition, the news reports are exaggerated." Sengoku breathed out, obviously feeling more relaxed. "That's good, I just got the news that the Venom pirates temporarily changed the ship, and as early as 3 days ago, they had dived from Sabayati Island to the Fishman Island, now it has crossed the red line." New World's third branch base reported that they have obtained information about the Venom pirates. They are really trying to find a place called Sleeping Ancient Town. You should return to New World immediately and follow-up information will be passed on to you. As for Aokiji, just let him go back to Marineford and have a good rest. After Sengoku hangs up on the phone bug, Porosalino showed a half-dead expression of reluctance and looked at Akainu with lewd eyes. Marshal Sengoku said that Kuzan can go back to Marineford directly. By the way, Sakazuki, do you know the ancient town of Sleep in New World? Venom is heading to this place. There seems to be some secret. Hearing Porosalino's words, Akainu's eyes narrowed. I've never heard of it. I didn't know until I went there. Let's go. The other side. Along the way, the Venom pirates' trip became smoother because they switched from Grand Line to South Blue. When it appeared under the sun again, it had reached the New World. New World. This strongest sea is very vast. There are countless unique Dao realms. There are also countless countries with strong military power. Among them, there are many powerful countries ruled by pirates. Except for the excesses of pirates, even the kings of the Dark World, the 4 emperors of the sea, have their own territory. For example, Doflamingo's power is entrenched in Dressrosa, where the Don Quixote family is located, and the entire country has been devastated. As for Toto Land, a kingdom composed of 34 islands, its queen is Charlotte Linlin, one of the 4 emperors. Under her rule, the citizens must contribute their own lifespan and provide countless delicacies for her to enjoy. In addition, there is Wano Kuni who is closed to the country, never welcomes outsiders, and never joins the world government. Its real ruler is Kaido of the Beasts, one of the 4 emperors. Of course, among them, the vast sea area occupied by Whitebeard is naturally indispensable. According to the information gathered by Robin, Sleepy Town is an island that has long lost its inhabited population. The specific location has long since disappeared from the sea map, but the approximate location has survived in legends. It is said that it is where the Whitebeard pirates are located. Sea area. Everything. You still have to wait for a real search. Venom did not expect that Sleeping Ancient Town would be harder to find than the Bat Fruit. Wow, it's another ocean storm. Since arriving in New World, we have experienced 3 seasons changes. Nami stood on the bow of the boat and looked out. At this, Karina rolled her eyes and said, "Thanks to Nami, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to get through all kinds of bad weather so easily." The Neferutari also contributed a lot. Ha ha ha. Of course, we have arrived at New World. It feels so fast. Next, we are going to travel around the world. New World is so magical. Along the way, we also passed many towns. As long as you have a little understanding, you will know that New World has far more unique scenery and richer products than the first half of the Grand Line. Although the New World is dangerous, it is also full of opportunities. Especially after getting clues about Sleeping Ancient Town, Karina became even more excited. It has been more than a month since I left Alabasta. During this time, the entire pirate group has undergone tremendous changes. First of all, Venom has given the entire crew a job. Nami is mainly responsible for navigation-related matters. At the same time, after being carefully taught by Venom, her strength has greatly improved. According to Venom, even if Nami is released alone, she already has the strength of a 300 million level pirate. In terms of physical skills, Nami can skillfully use finger pistol and shave, and has awakened observation haki. The armament haki in her has also begun to sprout. I believe it won't take long before it can be used later. In short, Nami looks like a weak girl now, but she is actually very powerful. And Robin, on the contrary to Nami, apart from being able to use flower fruit proficiently and learning armament haki, she seems to have made little progress. In addition, Robin, under Venom's advice, mainly carried out the work of collecting intelligence. Of course, she is also the think tank on the ship, and a lot of information needs to be analyzed by her. As for Robin's fighting style, he prefers assassination. Karina knows. The reason why Venom asked the crew to do this is entirely based on considerations. According to Boss Venom's wishes, he needs every crew member to act independently. Karina herself has also mastered taijutsu skills, but she is not as good as Nami and others. However, for the first time, she mastered the 2-color haki before Nami and Robin, so she was one step ahead. If you include Devil Fruit ability, Karina's combat power is definitely not as good as the other 2 sisters. After all, we are all sisters on the same boat, so we have to compete in everything. Now, he is worth a mere 20 million Baileys. The urge in Karina's heart could no longer be satisfied. The most important thing is, Venom spares no expense when it comes to developing his crew. They often set an example. This kind of teaching efficiency is much more effective than hiring a teacher to teach. Learn from what others say and experience it yourself. It's a completely different feeling. Karina believes that the poison is there, and he will not allow himself to be biased. I will be able to catch up with the 2 sisters soon. Then you can help the boss. Karina looked at the Venom on her shoulder and asked with a smile, "Boss, I want to become stronger. When will I train today?" Hehehehe. Don't worry, we have already arrived at New World, so we should find Sleeping Ancient Town first. Besides, you haven't digested what I gave you yesterday. You should understand why you can't eat hot tofu in a hurry. I understand. I'm thinking about getting the devil fruit soon. I want to perform better. This is the New World, there will be opportunities soon. After Venom finished speaking, with an inner call, a transparent panel immediately appeared. Host: Venom, the first parasite host, Nami 100%. Plant the mark and you can transfer it at any time. Second parasite, Karina 97%. The third parasite, Nico Robin 100%. Plant the mark and you can transfer it at any time. The fourth parasite, Nefeltari Vivi 15%. Abilities: Mara Mara Fruit, flower fruit, sand fruit, armament hockey, marine 6 styles, observation hockey. Open the virtual panel and you will find that the fusion progress of Nami and Robin has been reached. That leaves Karina and Vivi. And also at this time. At the observation deck, Robin jumped directly onto the side of the ship without using the ladder. As soon as her feet landed, her voice came out, "I saw a small dilapidated island in the distance, which is very similar to the information we collected. It is probably Sleeping Ancient Town." Upon hearing Robin's message, the entire Venom pirates immediately became energetic. After sailing for so long, are we finally reaching our destination? Sleeping Ancient Town, also known as Torrance Town. This is an ancient island with some mysterious ruins and treasures. But after a long time, it has become impossible to test. Just like the destruction of an ancient country, there is only history left to be unearthed. Originally, Suigu Town was abandoned for a long time, but in recent years, residents have gradually come to settle on the island. This place has regained its vitality. In the fierce struggle of the New World, here is a place of peace. Relying on all kinds of garbage and materials floating from the sea. People built various buildings in different styles. Strictly speaking, Sleep Town falls within the sphere of influence of the Whitebeard pirates. This place is not rich, and the population is mostly homeless, so not much can be squeezed out. Because of poverty, Suigu Town gained peace. Generally, pirates rarely arrive here. Only a few businessmen who take fixed routes will rest here. Therefore, it also derived the functions of a small town, such as pubs and hotels. Such a place was easily ignored by the Whitebeard pirates. The Venom pirates' ship docked at a simple port. Soon, after landing, Nami and others sat down in a very small pub. The owner of the tavern is a young girl named Yudoya. She has a pot-shaped head, a bun at the back, and glasses. She looks very simple. "Hello, what do the 3 guests want?" Seeing that Nami and others were all young girls, Adoa was familiar with them and quickly greeted the 3 of them. After ordering 3 beers, Robin began to inquire about the ruins of Sleeping Ancient Town. "Miss Adoya, we are tourists here. Do you want to know what special scenery you have here?" "Ah, I can see it. This is the first time I have seen a luxury sailing ship like yours. If there is one, maybe you can take a look at the ancient ruins in the back mountain. There are no valuable resources in Suigu Town, and neither the pirates nor the world government care about it. This is the forgotten part of New World. In addition, the Venom pirates' sailboat is a royal ship, which is very different from ordinary pirate ships." Adoa had no doubts about the identity of Nami and others, so he naturally opened up the topic. "Is it a ruin?" "Yes, but you have to be careful where there are bats. There are so many of them, they are very scary. Especially at night, no one dares to go there. It doesn't matter during the day." "Okay, we happen to be very interested in ancient ruins. Thank you, Miss Adoya." "You're welcome." According to the information given by Venom before, the devil fruit is in the ruins, but some investigation is needed. In particular, there is a good chance that there are ancient texts inside. Requires Robin to crack. In response, Robin immediately took over the task of finding devil fruit. Unlike Crocodile, there was a threat to ask him to destroy the minister. In the Venom Pirates, Nico Robin is very willing to give. In the Venom Pirates, everyone has a corresponding role. Robin truly felt his presence and the warmth among the members of the pirates. While enjoying the refreshing beer, the girls' thoughts had drifted to the ruins in the back mountain. After paying Adoya some tips, everyone in the Venom Pirates group began to move towards the back mountain. This place has been visited countless times. There was nothing but a pile of rocks. Therefore, the residents of the island have no doubts about the entry of strangers. But it was 3 top beauties who made some people on the island become nymphomaniacs. However, after seeing the Nefertari again, everyone knew that they couldn't afford to offend her. Didn't do anything excessive, just appreciating the beauty. Half an hour passed. Everyone entered the ruins. Venom floated out of Karina and sat on her shoulders like a little black figure. "Boss, Yin family, come here quickly." Rosso's voice came from a ruins. Soon, several people gathered together. "What's written on it?" In front of everyone is a stone chamber with a large hollow hole that allows light to come in during the day. The stone wall is already covered with green moss and vines, but it can still be seen that there are strange ancient words engraved on it, which are similar to the historical text in Venom's impression. This is an ancient text similar to Lars. It is different from the inscriptions on historical texts. I'll take another look. Robin looked at it carefully. After Robin finished speaking, Venom couldn't help but give a thumbs up. Another ancient text is different from the historical text. If it were anyone else, they would definitely be confused. He estimated that if Robin hadn't joined, the fruit would have slept in the ruins forever. Nami praised, Luoshi is so awesome. He can understand such profound words. Yeah, what's written here, I can't understand it at all. Karina also agreed. Soon, after Robin cracked all the cracks, a story emerges. Boss, this is a piece of history. More than 1,000 years ago, there used to be a small kingdom here, and the name of the kingdom was Brandu. The royal family here is called the Blood Clan. They raise blood bats and extract the power from the blood of the blood bats and inject it into their bodies to cultivate brave Scarlet Warriors. The appearance of the Scarlet Warriors makes the kingdom strong. But what really makes the kingdom prosper is a purple blood fruit. As long as you eat it, you can gain the ultimate power of a vampire, and it has slowly become the inherited power of the vampire family. As Robin went deeper and deeper, everyone pricked up their ears and listened. This purple blood fruit is most likely the zone bat fruit, fantasy beast species, and vampire form. Robin looked at the ancient text and continued. The following paragraph is a description of the power of the blood fruit. The blood fruit can absorb the lifespan of others through the palm of the hand, blood fangs or blood bats, and use it for one's own use. It can also give the eater a long life. The blood fruit can store blood into the blood pool space. The blood can be used as energy to provide fighting. The physical constitution of the eater will increase. The blood fruit can create darkness. The combat ability hidden in the night will be more powerful. Those who eat it can fly. After hearing this, everyone was already convinced. This blood fruit inherited by the Blood Clan is the bat fruit. At the same time, it also brings new additions to the cognition of Venom. Exclamation mark. The vampire form can take away the life force of others and at the same time bring longevity and youth to the person with the ability. Note that this fruit is not eternal life. But life is long enough. The more times you use it, the weaker your ability to replenish your lifespan will be. But the fruit's ability will become more powerful. The vampire form is the same as other phantom beast species. It can enhance most of a person's stats, giving a vampire's physique. Those with fruit abilities can spread their blood wings and fly. With a blood pool space, you can use the stored blood to fight. Users with bat fruit abilities will become more powerful in a dark environment, even under the shade of a tree. Venom nodded. This information was different from the vampire form he knew. In other words, there are 3 more skills. And these 3 skills all indicate the power of the vampire form. When the blood expands the entire blood pool space, it brings the continuous ability and power of the battle. Flying makes combat more convenient. Darkness has become the home ground of vampires, and they will be extremely powerful. Venom turned to Robin and said, Robin, tell me about the last ancient text. Okay, boss, I will interpret the last paragraph of the record immediately. The name of the last vampire is Dio Brando. He is a prince of the vampire race. After eating the fruit of the phantom beast species, he has lived in the world for years. He feels that his lifespan has only reached 3/3. When he was young, Dio was suppressed at the bottom of the sea because of an opponent. Finally, he was carried ashore because of a dolphin. Dio carried his exhausted body and returned to the kingdom of Brando again. It's a pity that after more than 300 years of changes, the kingdom no longer exists and has become a ruin. Because he lived for too long, both his citizens and his opponents have long since disappeared in the long river of history. In the end, he was desperate and invincible, lonely, and prepared to commit suicide by pricking his head with his fingers. Robin paused. This text was left by D. Brando before his death. After listening to Robin's analysis, everyone's minds were immediately drawn to reality. Finally he recorded something. This fruit will be reborn in the blood pool at the top of the pyramid. The top of the pyramid. In this way, the entire literature has been read. Venom thought for a moment, looked at the others and said, Nami, Karina, Robin, have you noticed any towering ruins buildings near here? Is that the ruins to the east? I saw before that it is the highest geographical location. Let's go take a look. After interpreting this ancient inscription, Venom and his group started walking towards the east. Soon, they arrived at a stone building wrapped with vines. In appearance, it looks a bit like a Mayan pyramid. With a jump, several people arrived at the top of the pyramid. Boss, there is a gap at the top of the tower, and there seems to be water inside. Is this the blood pool Dio Brando was talking about? Nami looked at the stones at his feet and thought about everything. If you don't look carefully, you would never guess that there is a hollow hidden grid at the top of this pyramid. Move away and look. 100 flowers, 100 flowers. Robin crossed his hands, stretched out several arms from the stone wall, and worked together to remove the stones from the top of the pyramid. Sure enough, what appeared in front of everyone was a pit with grooves. The length, width and height are about 1 meter. The pit was carved into the square stone. The water inside was dark and faint, with a hint of purple, and looked a little strange. However, with the phantom beast fruit so close at hand, there was no need for Venom to hesitate. Directly use your own fluid to transform into an arm. Picked it up in the pool. Not long after, a purple-red fruit appeared in its hand. This fruit is about the size of 2 fists, and its skin is a gorgeous purple-red color, with black spiral lines intertwined together, making the whole fruit look extremely weird. Its zone bat fruit phantom beast species vampire form. Venom showed a smile and handed the fruit to Karina. I found it, good luck. Is this the devil fruit in the vampire form? It's so weird and purple. Karina held it and couldn't put it down. Although the devil fruit was fished out of the water, it didn't feel dirty. The surface is a gorgeous purple-red color that can even reflect the sun's rays. Nami urged, Karina, eat it quickly, just take 1 bite. She also wanted to know what it would be like for Karina to become a vampire after eating the bat fruit. Of course, she wants to know even more, what will happen to Gui. Confirmed. Karina didn't hesitate and bit into the fruit. After taking a bite of the pulp, then he threw away the fruit. The fruit in the vampire form of the phantom beast species fell towards the bottom of the pyramid with a thud. Karina's mind moved. Changes occurred all over the body at the same time. Her fingers began to be covered with a black shiny substance, and her fingers were also covered, and then pointed nails grew. Karina knew that her newly grown black nails could be peeled off her body at any time, ejected, and attack like bullets. In addition, a semi-black and semi-transparent film grew on the side of her arm, like a bat's wings. As long as she wanted to, she could now fly high into the sky. Karina's ears also changed, becoming pointed ears like an elf, and her hearing ability also increased significantly. It was obvious that there were 2 pointed bloody teeth under Karina's lips. Ho, is this a vampire? Like a Darth Vader? Karina, that's awesome. Nami's eyes widened with disbelief on her face. At this time, Karina's temperament has changed drastically, and there is still a trace of weirdness in her coquettishness. Nami, come and suck me. Faced with Karina's teasing, Nami waved her hands repeatedly. No, no, no. Let's forget it. Ha 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 ha. Karina regained her composure. She squatted on the ground and held a corner of the pyramid stone with her hands. With a little force, the stone shattered instantly. Then, Karina's palm resembled a pistol. A hissing sound. A piece of black hard material came out. He was nailed to the middle of the rocks 20 meters away. In fact, the stone did not crack or collapse under the force. In other words, Karina's nails are very sharp and can easily pierce stones. Boss, I feel like my physique has become stronger. Moreover, many moves suddenly appeared in my mind, such as flying, blending into the night, and using fingernails to attack. Besides, my observation haki seems to be enhanced. What? Nami and others were shocked. Karina's observation haki was strengthened. Karina smiled and said, I don't know how to explain it, but my hearing has improved a lot, and now I seem to be able to predict the behavior of everyone around me. Prejudgment. The venom is parasitic on Karina's body, please demonstrate it to me again. As Karina mobilized her senses to focus on a flying bird in the distance. Sure enough, in Venom's mind, it seemed as if he could see the bird landing on the branch of the second tree. After 10 seconds, the flying bird did indeed fall. Just on the branch of the second tree. Off the charts. This is tantamount to the awakening of seeing, hearing, and form. Venom guessed that this was the special ability brought to Karina by the vampire form of the phantom beast species. Just like Enel's Thunder Fruit, with the electronic characteristics of Thunder Fruit, Enel can monitor the entire Sky Island. But it is different from the vision of the future that Katakuri awakens. Foreseeing the future is an established fact, just like Thinga will definitely move to position B. This is something that will definitely happen in a second or two, so evasive actions can be taken. Karina's knowledge is prediction, predicting that Thinga will move to position B or position C, so the prediction time will be longer, and there will be a small chance of errors in its route due to accidents. In a short period of time, Venom has been tested by Karina 20 times, and after observing more than 2,000 positions, most of the birds landed where Karina predicted. The prediction is correct, and some birds changed their course of action because they suddenly saw a flying insect. Prediction error. Seeing this result, Venom nodded with satisfaction and then gave a conclusion. This is the result of Devil Fruit enhancement. Karina, you are a sniper born with guns. You can predict the enemy's route, and a bullet will greet him. Karina was a little confused. Is the boss trying to define his identity? In the Venom Pirates, Karina only learned combat skills, but unlike Nami and Robin, Venom did not plan a route for her. Nami is in charge of navigation and is also the magician of the team. Robin is responsible for intelligence and also uses the fruit's ability to monitor. Now, the position of sniper falls on Karina's head. Great, the boss is right, I was born to play with guns. Boss, give me a gun quickly. How amazing, Nami said in surprise. Robin smiled, great, our team has become stronger again. Okay, there are people living in Suigu town, so we won't cause trouble here. Nami, find a desert island on the chart, and I will give you a good lesson. Venom sees his own panel. The above shows that Nami, Robin, and Karina have all reached their full parasitic progress. Moreover, because Karina's strength has been greatly improved, she has also acquired a skill called Sight, which is obviously related to snipers. It just so happens that Karina now has the vampire form of a fantasy beast and is also suitable for sniping. She can be trained into a melee elite, plus a sniper. So Venom planned to find a desert island and train his team members to be fully experienced at the current stage. What are you doing standing still? It's time for us to leave. Venom said. No. The three lovely female team members shook their heads repeatedly and quickly surrounded Venom. Boss, we haven't seen your vampire form yet. Quick, boss, become a man. Boss, I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.